Welcome to the Otakus podcast, episode 11. I'm back and healed.
Welcome back.
Yes, I had a few week visit with Corona, so yeah, but all good. So I quit the last episode with the cosplay. I really wish I was on that one,
but you had your bout with Coco-19. So.
Yeah, so it was just like, But,
Coco-19.
But hey, this is Justin here, of course, creator and founder of Otakus and Geeks, MagicDivisions.com, and let's introduce the crew. Nadia, how you doing?
Hey guys, hanging in. Gotham Geek Girl here, blogger, writer, journalist, working on a couple things and hanging in.
This is Sean. Damn it. Again, this week my mind is going blank, but no. This is Sean, a.k.a. the... Damn it, my mind is gone blank again.
Should I do your intro?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Sean, writer on ToxicGeeks.com, true comic fan, Beers and Goods podcast. Don't forget to also subscribe to his other podcast. It's Chronicles.
I was about to say, no. I'll take it over from there. Listen, this is Sean, the true comic fan.
Yeah.
Chronicles podcast.
There you go.
Beer and Goods, and of course, Otakus and Geeks podcast. What you guys have to realize is my mind has been running on 10,000 other things in one day. So every once in a while, when I got to do my intro, I forget where the hell I'm at and what I'm doing.
Who you are, apparently,
and who I am and what I'm doing. Now I can remember my name. I just can't remember what I'm doing this week. So
when in doubt, you got to put the gangster on. You can be like, "Yo, this is Sean. You heard?"
And I wish I could do that, but for some reason, for one quick second, my mind just went, "Hey, I got to take a break for a second. I'm going to turn off for 1 second, and I'll get back to you." So that's what happened to me just now.
Like, what show I'm doing this time?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, what am I doing today? Oh, okay. I got you. Jarrell.
What's going on? It's Jarrell, a.k.a. The Icon. You could check me out on Red Eyes Entertainment on YouTube. That's Red Eyes with a Z, where we are currently doing Wanda Vision, Batwoman. We got Superman and Lois coming up. We doing that, Black Lightning, and Falcon and Winter Soldier when that drops. So check it out.
Sweet. And we are back, and we got a lot to talk about. A lot has happened, and we're going to kick things off since... It's still going right now. The last time we talked about Wanda Vision is when the show first premiered. Now we're, I think, 7 episodes deep.
7 episodes in. There's only two episodes left, an hour long.
The last time the four of us were together, we were still trying to pick a president.
Really? No. We were together after that, but the president was already picked.
But not counting the cosplay.
It was after the Capitol.
Yeah, it was after the Capitol.
Sure.
Yeah, because I
was going for like 3 weeks.
It was during the peaceful transition of power.
Yeah, because there's a point on my other podcast where we said certain people can't crime right.
Yeah,
and and we were talking about the Capitol insurrection.
But Marvel has they've done some stuff with WandaVision that a lot of us predicted, but I'm actually happy the way the direction's going. And there's also some news going around Marvel. I think we're going to start off with that first before we get into WandaVision, because that'll be more quicker. The latest news is surrounding the Fantastic Four, and the latest rumor is that Jennifer Lawrence might be playing Sue Storm, and Al Pacino might be Mephisto. Now, for me personally, I'm good for the second casting. The first casting... all I have to say is, did you not watch the X-Men prequel trilogies?
Well, I
hate her mystique.
Well, I think it's not. I think that may be part of why Jennifer Lawrence might end up being picked as Sue Storm, only because a lot of the Fox characters have expressed that they want to be part of the MCU. Now, the thing is, since Jennifer Lawrence's character was killed off in there, like, she's probably like, yo, I don't want to go. So could they find something else? Let's look at it this way. Chris Evans went from Johnny Storm to Captain America. So I don't see why they would do it. It's a rumor, so we don't know what's actually happening. The Al Pacino rumor is because Vision, Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany said that there's an actor, and if you want to check this out, there's you can check Emergency Awesome. He broke the news where they were talking about, he said there's an actor that he's always wanted to act with that's been in talks with Marvel for a while that he can't wait to work with. And because he almost spoiled the Quicksilver intro, he doesn't want to spoil this. So what they've been narrowing it down to is there are 3 actors in his career he always wanted to work with. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and what's his name? He passed away a long time ago. He played the Godfather.
Oh,
Marlon Brando?
Marlon Brando.
Yeah, all classics. I love my gangster movies.
Yeah, so Marlon Brando, God rest his soul, is no longer with us. But you still have Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. I don't think it's Robert De Niro strictly because I think De Niro is doing something else on another project, and Al Pacino, who they've had sightings of him meeting with Kevin Feige and meeting with the Marvel Studios. Granted, also, what kind of puts him in the front runner is that he's already played Lucifer, the devil himself, by playing in The Devil's Advocate. He played the devil in that. So it wouldn't be a shock if it was. And I think them leaking this so far, so close to the 2 last episodes of WandaVision, that kind of narrows it down that it could be Al Pacino. But this is something I called a long time ago that after we had the first episode talking about WandaVision when the beekeeper came out, even though we saw why he became the beekeeper, I said that's got to be a hint that beekeeper Beelzebub,
and that turned out to be nothing.
Yeah,
he wasn't the beekeeper. He was a beekeeper.
Yeah, he was, and I don't think he was the beekeeper, but the fact that he came out in there as the beekeeper, I was just like, are they dropping a hint that Beelzebub, the whole Bible thing, that he's coming in there? And I said, if that's really Agnes, there's only 2 villains that are coming out. That it is Nightmare, but more than likely Agnes is a minion. Not so much a minion, because if you look into her story, she really just sides with whoever is winning. But she is somebody who always works with Mephisto. So I can see that due to the fact that, and also if you've ever read the West Coast Avengers comics, Mephisto was a big part of Wanda's children, being that he figured that Wanda took 2 pieces of his soul to make her children. So it's a long story. If you ever want to catch up with it, there's a West Coast Avengers what do you call it? Well, I wouldn't say there's a story arc where Wanda first creates her children, and it has to do with also why I think Vision is coming back. If you see this was the series where Vision first came back after he was killed, but he wasn't the colorful Vision that we knew. He was all white. He was blank, and his memory was wiped, and he really didn't remember being with Wanda, and it really bothered her. So that's why she had the whole child thing and everything else. Also, another Easter egg that they showed when interviewing one of the characters in the background. They showed it. It was the only thing that wasn't blurred out. There was a prominent picture of Wonder Man in the background. So that would be a very big surprise if we get Wonder Man in the Avengers. And it would kind of fit, because that would make me think that Marvel will start doing the whole Avengers thing by breaking up the teams. So you'll get the Avengers and then you'll get the West Coast Avengers. Because in the comic book, you've had 3 different Avenger teams. You had the East Coast Avengers, West Coast Avengers, and
A-Force, right?
Well, A-Force is more of a new thing now, and that's the women. But there were 3 teams: the original Avengers, which everybody was on it, and then you had the West Coast Avengers and East Coast Avengers. West Coast comprised of Hawkeye, Wanda, or I should say Scarlet Witch, Vision, Wonder Man, and U.S. Agent, which we know in Falcon and Winter Soldier, they might introduce the U.S. Agent into the Marvel Universe, considering they don't want Falcon to be the new Captain America. I don't want to throw my fingers up and say that sounds like a little racist there. They don't want Falcon,
just a tad.
but they do somehow find the new super soldier serum or a variation of it, and they create the U.S. Agent. So we'll see what happens, and that's a whole story in itself, how nuts that guy was. But who else wants to go and give their impression of it? I didn't want to give my impression. I just wanted to address the rumors.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, wasn't the question about the Fantastic Four?
Well, since you're talking, what do you think about Jennifer Lawrence and Pacino?
Well, I mean, regarding Jennifer Lawrence, I don't care about the logistics behind, because I just assume, okay, she has a lifelong Fox contract. That's why they just picked her. But I don't, like I said, I don't care about all the logistics. My issue is she just doesn't. It's just a bad look from a character standpoint.
Why?
I just wouldn't pick her because she just doesn't. you know,
like emote acting.
yeah.
I mean, like acting.
It's just like when I see Sue Storm, I don't think of Jennifer Lawrence.
A lot of people said the same thing about what's her name that played the original Sue Storm.
Jessica Alba.
Jessica
Alba.
I still don't see her as Sue Storm.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I think they just picked her because she was hot at the time.
Yeah.
Like, meaning not hot. She does look good.
Yeah.
But she was a hot actress at the time, and they
Also
just
hot.
picked her. Yeah, she looked good, and they were just okay.
It was what we were talking about before. It's like just slap the blonde on her and nobody will know the difference.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah,
and I think the second girl they picked as Sue Storm was a big miss because I didn't feel like, okay, I felt she was more whiny than Sue Storm, so I was like, I guess it would have worked, but we'll have to see. Is it that because Disney took over all of Fox's contract? Because remember, they're still talking to Stewart and McAvoy about coming back as Professor X, and both Ian McKellen and what's the Fassbender about coming reprising as Magneto.
Yeah.
Which is perfect.
I would love that.
I would love that.
Yeah, so let's see what happens. Maybe it's the Lawrence has.
For me, it's like I don't care. It's just one of those. Well, when it comes out, I'll just see what happens. But I'm not angry at the casting, but I'm not like
you're not thrilled.
I'm not thrilled.
Yeah, I have to admit, like Jennifer Lawrence as Sue Storm, I'm
just like, yeah.
Nah.
I don't hate
I'm
it.
team Emily Blunt and John Krasinski.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I'm just kind of like.
I mean, if I had
want to keep looking.
I mean, if I had to choose, I'd say no. But if they do it, I'm not gonna
You're not gonna be on that.
Yeah.
How dare you cast this person?
I'm not
we asked for Emily Blunt.
But regarding,
I mean, I'm not gonna knock it because remember when they removed Edward Norton and put in what's his name?
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. People were like, "Yo, you trashed the Hulk. I'm gonna hate this Hulk," and he ends up now becoming.
No, he's the best Hulk.
He's the best Hulk.
Ruffalo,
Yeah,
And I loved Eric Bana too. Honestly, it just wasn't the best movie.
yeah. That's,
you know,
that's-
I listen.
The thing with Ruffalo is he just looks like the Hulk when he's not the Hulk because he got that head.
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean,
He's a perfect Banner.
Yeah, but so did Edward Norton. I mean,
Well, he was
Edward Norton
slimmer.
shocked the hell out of everybody.
How good he was.
Being the Hulk.
Yeah, no, Edward Norton did it. I like his Hulk movie, but I'm just saying Edward Norton was slimmer and he had like a skinnier face. Like Ruffalo has the head.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
when
but
he
you gotta
transforms,
remember,
like you could see, like
the thing is, when they CGI the face, they
Yeah.
did a really good job CGIing Norton's face onto his Hulk and Ruffalo's face onto his. And also, you got to remember, Marvel didn't always get the Hulk thing right because if you remember the TV series, his what do you call it? The what do you call it? The Hulk's name is it? His name is not David Banner, is it?
it was David Banner.
Okay, but the Hulk series, it wasn't David Banner. It was
No. The Hulk series
Bruce
was David.
Banner.
The Hulk series was
thank
David
you.
Banner. Yeah.
His name is Bruce Banner, but the Hulk series itself calls him David Banner.
Yeah.
So it's
Like
like,
the rapper?
Yes.
yeah, like,
That's where the rapper got it from.
yeah. So originally it confused a lot of comic book fans because we know him as Bruce Banner.
Can I
Yeah.
ask a quick? See, now you just made me think about this in the MCU because everybody calls Ruffalo Banner.
Yeah.
What the hell is his first name?
Bruce.
It's Bruce. It's Bruce Banner.
Someone's actually called him Bruce.
Yeah.
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 Black Widow.
Okay, I'm like, I
Black
don't.
Widow
I
always
don't
calls him Bruce.
Yeah,
Or
I
all
Lover.
right, because I don't remember nobody. Everybody just calls him Banner.
Yeah. They
Like,
but
there was a big controversy with
Age of Ultron.
with the series, the original 70s series. It wasn't Bruce Banner. It was David Banner, which also could lead into something where we could look back and say there's a chance that if Norton and Marvel had a reconciliation, that he can come back he doesn't necessarily have to come back as Bruce. He can come back as an alternate.
Yeah.
He can come back as an alternate David Banner, like from another timeline.
I mean, but Nada, what do you think about the rumors?
It's like J-Law's hit or miss for me, Jennifer Lawrence. I didn't like the X-Men series at all. I didn't like her. She was terrible. But I do like her in other things. But I don't know. I'm more for, like I said, I like Emily Blunt. That whole fan casting really appeals to me.
And Pacino?
I would rather see that, honestly.
And your thoughts on Pacino probably being Mephisto?
I will watch anything he's in. He's one of my favorites. And like, if he were to come to Marvel, that would just be like sick.
And somebody wrote in the comics like, oh, well, how would he do the action scenes? I'm like, well, he doesn't really have to because he could transform into like the comic book looking Mephisto, and they could just do
the
CGI.
voice.
Because remember, Josh Brolin didn't bulk up
Thanos
and turned into Thanos. I mean, he voiced it, and he voiced it so well.
And
yeah,
did the motion
capture.
See,
And they did a good job. Marvel usually does a good job with their CGI.
Yeah.
See, but I don't know. Like for me, like I feel like they're trying to like mask the bad aspects by throwing like cool shit at us.
What do you mean?
It's because I feel like if Mephisto ends up being Al Pacino, but the final episode is complete trash, or all the stuff that everybody was like, oh, this is gonna happen and this is good, and then none of that stuff happens. No one's gonna care about that because they're gonna be like, oh, Al Pacino here.
Well,
I think casual fans will do that.
Yeah.
Real fans will bitch.
Because one thing like WandaVision's been doing, because it definitely got better. Once she went into labor, the show did get better. I can say that, but they're still doing the thing where they're using Easter eggs to hide the fact that the show's really not all that
the thing
not
is,
all that spectacular.
I don't think it's that, because Marvel always uses Easter eggs in all its films.
Every comic book
property throws an Easter egg. It's just that most people, the casual fan, will
every
never,
after credit, everything has a
yeah.
meaning.
The fans will never, like the casual fan will never see. I've gone to movies, watch shows with people, and they never catch the same Easter eggs I do. I think a lot of casual fans just like Marvel because they're like, it's the in thing right now. Like,
I can agree with that.
But for me as a fan, when I see an Easter egg, it makes it better for me because I'm like, holy crap! I remember when I read about that.
But are we watching for Easter eggs, or are we watching for good story?
I think, but you can say that. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can say that about both Marvel and DC. They put out shit for the last year. Say that
The Walking Dead too.
Yeah, and The Walking Dead, and I'll put that Marvel, Image, DC. Valiant, IDW, they've all put out TV shows that have been shit for a while because they either start out like The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead started out fabulous, first 3 seasons. You couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, it's like somebody was like counting cash in a room somewhere. And it was just like, we need to come up with a great story. Put shit out there. They'll believe anything we watch. The same thing with Marvel. Like they'll like, don't get me wrong. The first 2 episodes of WandaVision, I was like, you motherfuckers really dialed this shit in this time, didn't you? You didn't. You just was like, they're going to love anything we put out there. Like I said before, they could put out a sparkling pile of shit. And it just put Marvel across it. And everybody would be like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing. And like you said, throw up one Easter egg. And they're like, this episode is the greatest. And I will say, WandaVision was seconds away from me going, okay, you guys really missed on this one. And, I even said the same thing about Iron Fist. Iron Fist had its merits, but Marvel missed heavily on Iron Fist. And they missed so bad, they couldn't even get the nostalgia from the fans to recover that show.
And here's the thing about that, just to piggyback on what you're saying. There is one Marvel show that came out that no one ever talks about, not even Marvel ever mentions, and that's the Inhumans.
Yeah, and that's like the Inhumans was such a miss for Marvel. It's kind of like, what is it that you guys keep saying, Barry? Like, we don't talk about that. Like,
Triple H Shovel came out and just buried.
Which one did we talk about? Which Spider-Man movie don't we talk about?
That doesn't exist though.
I
don't know what you're talking about.
They took the Inhumans, which shockingly enough is on Disney Plus. Like,
it is,
and and
I ain't see it.
Which I've watched the entire series. It wasn't good, but it wasn't as terrible as I viewed it. But Marvel has somehow like when they come out and they're like, hey, we're the Inhumans. Like, shut your ass down. Shut up. We don't know who you are. Like, the actors haven't even been bought back for anything.
That shit has been off the timeline. Like, that shit piggybacked off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And there's no mention whatsoever of this.
Marvel's original Phase 3 timeline, Phase 1 through 3 timeline, had the Inhumans in it. All of a sudden, the TV show came out, and they were like, they don't even make the comic book anymore. And that's how bad it went. And it's the same thing with, I think the only reason Iron Fist is getting a second run is because Shang-Chi. Yeah, he said Quan Chi. No, Quan Chi is is getting his own movie, and it kind of piggybacks with Iron Fist, and the fact that they're going to bring out Jessica Jones and Daredevil again. So yeah, they all have their misses where they've.
I know, but my problem in this situation, because I agree with you, it's the whole thing. Like Marvel just gets a pass now because it's Marvel, and I just feel like with WandaVision, they're doing the whole, hey everybody, don't pay attention to this lackluster storyline. Pay attention to what's.
So they're Wizard of Oz in it right now. Don't pay attention to the man behind the green curtain.
I don't think WandaVision's story has been lackluster. I think it never hit.
Well, not the story overall. I'm talking about like episode by episode, because even the last episode, the only two things that was interesting about that last episode was when Monica was going through the vortex for the third time, and then the Agatha reveal at the end, which basically half the planet guessed was going to happen. But people, but it's also an issue with people, because people talk themselves into getting excited and they get let down, because when Pietro was at the door, everybody was like, oh, in the next episode they're gonna merge the universes. They ain't even bring that shit up. Well, everybody was like, oh, Monica's supposed to meet up with the dude from the fan, with Reed Richards from the fan. They ain't even bring that up. Well,
the thing is, I will say the same thing. I think part of that is on you and a couple of other people. Not blaming you, but you and a couple other people, because me as a fan, I didn't expect, like, I don't expect Marvel to just throw it out there. Marvel has had a history of building up, because one, like I said, there's a lot of people that have been writing about it. It's not like they haven't brought up Reed Richards. They did say they never revealed exactly who she was going to see. Yeah. You just saw somebody in that episode and assumed they forgot about it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do that either, but I'm just saying, like, when I listen to other people, everybody's talking about all this magical stuff, and I'm like, but what if that doesn't happen?
Yeah, and
then when the episode comes out, none of that happens.
I think a lot of people, and I think they're not true comic book fans, a lot of people build too much expectation, because I don't build that up. I think after the first 2 episodes, because I don't want to give it that 1.5. After that first 2 episodes, it got better, and the story is going exactly the way I can see it going. They're revealing people as they're supposed to be revealed. Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool. It's not as epic as everybody wants it to be.
Anybody who's overhyping it is because they just want to be a part of the popular thing right now. Like WandaVision is popular, whereas regular fans are just like, I'm enjoying the ride as it's going. Like you said, the only 2 good things in it, my opinion is the whole dynamic between Vision and Darcy was good. Because when he finally brings Darcy out of it, I was just like, okay, the way they're talking is funny. The banter is funny.
I mean, the banter was funny, but be honest, that whole episode, it was just the 2 of them in a car. Had you removed that from the episode, would it have made a difference?
It would have killed the episode, because it would have left everybody like, what happened to Darcy? So you're not going to address Darcy being there?
Yeah, I mean, you could have addressed it in the beginning, but I mean, but the two of them sitting in a van for the whole episode, that wasn't needed.
And actually, no, because it brought out the Vision said something important. He was like, Wanda is keeping me from getting to her. Yeah. So
he could have said that at the circus.
Yeah, but he did. He said it, but him saying it doesn't show the length she took to keep him away from there. So they're on an empty road. They're driving down. And there's no one else on this road. Not even there's no birds on this road. We have a stoplight, and then all of a sudden the stoplight, they're coming out to do construction.
Then we have children.
Yeah, and it just said it was one of those things where I think it was just supposed to be a misdirection to keep you not thinking about what's going to happen, and then Agatha popping up at the end is what it was there for. I'm not, I don't think it should have been taken out. I think it was important, and I think you should watch because him bringing Darcy out of it, because you remember when Darcy in the beginning was just like, oh, I'm the escape artist, I'm doing this. So she was already mind control committed to being part of the Hex. Vision brings her out of it, and it's just a hilarious moment where, because to me, Darcy's character is hilarious, period. Mm-hmm. Like even though she takes everything seriously, she has to, I swear, she needs to somehow become one of the Spider-Man characters, because her banter is just funny, and you bring her in there, and then they have a conversation, and then when Vision just phases himself out and leaves, she goes, oh yeah, so you just leave me here, and it kind of feels like exactly what you said. Yeah, just leave me here so you can write me out the story, and I'm not, and I'm nowhere in this for the rest of this episode. I'm still somebody's gonna pan into her after credits, and she's still sitting there at the same stoplight.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been funny, but
not going anywhere. So, but
I mean, the power dynamic is cool. That Wanda has red. Wanda's power is red. You know, Agnes's is purple, and Monica's is blue. Is it white? Is it blue?
Yeah, because it could be any color because her character is supposed to be Spectrum.
So obviously that's going to be something at the end.
But Nadia, what are your impressions so far since the last time we did this review? Are you liking the show so far? What are your thoughts?
I'm loving the show. I think people just got to be patient. I do agree the first two seemed a little slower, and then this last one seemed a little slower. But I think Marvel always has a plan for something. They know exactly what they're doing. We all saw Agnes coming, and then to finally see it was oh shit. I guess you guys said, it's a build-up. So now we're all expecting Mephisto and what's going to happen next. But for me, I still really enjoyed it. I feel like this last episode is probably going to wrap up the whole sitcom format. Mm-hmm. It felt very Modern Family, The Office, when they talk they're interviewing, talk to the camera.
I meant to ask you something, especially you, Nadia. Who thought it was Modern Family?
Yeah, I thought it was Modern Family. I thought it was both Modern Family and The Office.
I said Bernie.
Yeah, because I guess they're in the 2000s now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the theme, where it's I'm talking to the camera and I'm it's an interview style. Yeah, remember when she when Wanda was what are you doing here? It was kind of it made me think of what's his name, Aziz Ansari. When they're talking to the camera.
Yeah, I thought it was just because the way the opening credits she did for her show. Yeah, I thought it was the Office.
The opening, definitely.
Yeah, I thought it was the Office. I was so they're not going to do Modern. They're going to do the Office, and then when the way they formatted the show, I was this is Modern Family.
Yeah. It's I
said
and Vision too. When he was wait, what am I doing?
Yeah, they doing the single cam. They were doing the single cam era.
You do bring up a good point. You could also say Bernie Mac show, but the only reason I didn't think of Bernie Mac is because she wasn't that funny. She wasn't fun. She wasn't funny. She was Modern Family Office funny.
It was funny to me because at that point you could tell she just checked the F out.
Yeah,
and the fact that
she's starting to go crazy.
Yeah, the fact that she didn't care anymore was just funny to me. But
yeah, she's I'm not even gonna get out of bed or worry about my kids today.
Yeah, it's what kind of mom tells their kids? She's listen, the world is messed up. I don't know what y'all want to think, but that's where I'm at. And the kids are just looking at her really. There's just nothing to hope for, huh, Mom?
But yeah, I think this episode was mostly a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of setup for, I guess, we said, the last couple episodes, which are an hour long. The commercials have always had a major meaning.
Yeah, I didn't understand this week's commercial
either.
Yeah, so I was trying to look into it. The commercial is an antidepressant.
Yeah.
So it's dealing with Nexus. So it's magical area of Marvel. So it's a gateway to other dimensions. So I think this is kind of the whole setup of what you were mentioning about Avengers West Coast
and Doctor Strange,
then into the Dark Realm where we saw Agnes's basement. Mm-hmm. So I think that's going to be a major thing in the next episode, which
is good because the after credits were nice where Pietro pops up with Monica, and I was just well, to answer your question, Jarrell, that kind of shows you that they're merging the universes because I really thought that it was Agnes that brought Pietro in, and now he's just gone because he was there as a distraction to get her to think about nothing, but then he showed up at the end. So I was just okay, so...
Yeah, but did he ever really leave from the... Because in the previous episode, Wanda blasted him into some hay. That doesn't mean he disappeared.
No, but that's what I mean. I thought it was just once she blasted him, Agnes would just remove him, period. Because that was also the theory that it was just Agnes that brought him into it, but then he shows up. Monica's spectrum powers, I thought was nice because they alluded to it when she got into the Hex. She saw everything on the light spectrum, and I was just yo, and her eyes wouldn't stop glowing.
Yep. Which is all her time back and forth, now she's getting power.
Yeah, which is funny because you can shout out to Instagram or all these other apps that are jumping on the bandwagon of Marvel Vision because God help me if I have not seen every cosplayer with that effect on their eyes. And I thought it was these were contacts because I saw seeing everybody with it. It's an effect from IG in the in the picture thing. You can put is it IG or Snapchat? you can put Monica's eyes on her glowing eyes on yours. So I'm like, yeah, you guys like to just jump into everything. You know, like it was like people, because all of a sudden everybody's jumping on it, and I'm like, do you even know where that's from or why your eyes are like that? So, but I think
what I want to know is what's her beef with Carol? Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. Because every time somebody mentions her name, like she makes
she's like that bitch.
She makes a face.
But she was snapped though.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but she did hear her voice when she was going through the spectrum and getting her power.
Yeah.
They took like the words that were in the background; those were all like lines that were taken from the movie.
Yeah. We can only speculate that something happened, because remember, Captain Marvel, which is weird. Captain Marvel is, and I'm going to talk about something like that after we're done with this. Captain Marvel happened in the 90s, and remember, Monica was a, let's say, 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe younger.
Yeah, we have to ask what happened in between her leaving to go save the universe and coming back with her mom.
I mean, I think it's just as simple as Carol left to defend the universe
and never came back.
Just never, because that's the thing. Because I saw some people talking about it, and they were making like everybody's making these over exaggerated, and I was like, it's not that complicated.
It could just be like, I never came back.
Yeah, it's just as simple as she left and never came back, and now that her mom passed away,
and it was
she's even more mad that she never came back.
And it's the second time she left, because remember, the first time she disappeared.
Yeah.
That was her mom's friend, and then the second time she comes back. So, and you're probably absolutely right, Jarrell, because the thing is, she's just back from the snap and doesn't realize that Captain Marvel came back.
Came back to help.
Came back to help, and she doesn't know, or she doesn't know yet, and then they'll reconcile that somehow you
will find out in Captain Marvel too.
Yeah. So
because I have no reason to believe that Carol was coming back and forth between Earth and wherever she was, because Don Cheadle said to her, literally, he was just like, the world's been in trouble for X amount of years. Where did you come from all of a sudden? And she was just like, first of all, the Earth isn't the only planet out there that needs help. Yep. So I took that as you ain't been around since the 90s.
Which is dead true.
Because if you popped in just to visit, Carol and them, if you popped in just to visit the black people, you would have helped out with you would have helped out with a couple of missions, with a couple of SHIELD missions while you were here.
He's just about to, hey, what's going on? How you doing? I'll get in. Like, all right, I've done my. It's like a deadbeat dad. It's like a deadbeat dad. I came to hold my son and help pick up the kid and put him down. I held him, and then she's out.
I have to go. My planet needs me.
Yeah,
like Poochie. My thoughts on it. I'm gonna make it quick because we're gonna segue into trailer talk. Loved it. I loved the love. One thing we didn't talk about is I love Agatha's song.
Yeah,
the homage to the monsters.
Yeah, the monster.
That was perfect.
Let me tell you something. I rewound that twice. That shit got me so bad when she was just like, "Oh, it's been me the whole time," and then she smiles at the camera, and then the monster theme comes in, and then they jump through different periods, and then she's like, and at the end she goes, "And I was the one that killed the dog." And I was just like, "Yo."
But I mean, overall, I'm really enjoying it. It's built up exactly the way I thought it was gonna do. I'm hoping that it ends with a punch, and that's gonna make me really want to wait for Doctor Strange, because that's what it's supposed. He goes directly. Doctor Strange takes place directly after this, so I'm really looking forward to that. But otherwise than that, it's pretty good. I'm really happy with the show. It did what I thought it was going to do.
Now we're happy with it.
No, but I didn't really have I didn't really have a problem with the first two episodes, because I knew where it was building up to. But like we always discuss, I mean, and I think to piggyback off what you two were talking about, I think what it is that it's fan expectation versus the reality of what's it actually going to be, and that's the problem. And especially us being comic book readers, and the arcs, and these things, so you automatically expecting everything to play off how it's supposed to be in the comics. You can't really do that when you go into another different visual medium, because otherwise you're better off just reading the comic books, because you know everything that's going to happen. So of course they're going to change.
That's what they said with The Walking Dead. We're not doing everything that happened in the comic book, because the thing is there'll be no suspense. There'll be no like you're like, oh, I know what's going to happen this week. He's going to do blah blah blah. Oh, look, it happened. Like,
that's why they had Negan kill Abram first, because you thought it's like, oh, okay, so Glenn took the. Abram took the kill
It was
Glenn.
supposed to be for Glenn, but then they circled back to it.
Yeah, and then I was just like, oh damn, I'm not watching the show no more, and and I haven't since. But we're gonna segue into a little bit of trailer talk because that was Marvel and Disney, but Warner Brothers has been doing their thing, dropping trailer happies. But first, before we get to the trailer talk, we're gonna touch on this really quickly.
Why you say that? You looking at me?
really quickly. Supergirl has been cast, and it's actress Sasha Calle. I think I pronounced that right. And she is from The Young and the Restless, and that's pretty much it. But I guess the big deal is that she's Latina. It's not a big deal, but
Well, according to Entertainment Tonight, it is.
yeah, according to Entertainment Tonight. But I mean, I don't really care for the casting, and it's just like I looked at someone for work. I was like, I mean, it's Supergirl's not really much meat to that character anyway. I'm not really expecting like any emotional depth that's gonna really like challenge an actress to play Supergirl. So I'm just like, all right, whatever.
That's because you don't watch the TV show.
I mean, and I don't really read the comics either from Supergirl. I
watched the TV show. It's not that I don't think there's any depth. You know what would have been a nice thing for they should have did instead of making her Supergirl, they should have made her Power Girl.
They should have made her Jessica Cruz.
Yeah,
The Green Lantern, the new Green Lantern.
I think if you're gonna make her Supergirl, make her Power Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of making her this alternate.
she's not the girl's not that developed to play Power Girl.
They'll push up. I'm sorry,
but
they'll push up bras. Like
we ain't gonna CGI tits.
No, I'm just saying.
This ain't anime.
Oh my God.
I'm about to say. I know Nadia's sitting there saying, "So all you're saying is Power Girl's whole thing is her boobs."
I mean, let's be honest. Not sounds being sexist, only that's the first thing you notice about that character is her breasts. I'm not gonna be like, oh, so what's her character development? I'm like, oh, she got big tits. Okay, so who is she? Then I ask the question.
Well, for those who missed it, even though that is I'm convinced that the writer or the person who made her, part of that was in his mind, but the explanation about why she has that big hole in her outfit that shows her cleavage is because her character says she hasn't proven herself to earn the S on her chest. So until she does, she has an outfit without the symbol.
That makes sense.
So I was like, okay, that's nice, but you could have still just made a regular outfit without the big hole. Yeah. But I guess the hole is supposed to signify the hole in her hero arc or whatever, you know. So, I don't know, Nadia, do you believe that explanation?
And what are your thoughts on the casting?
So for me, like, I mean, I guess it's cool. Like, I watched the video and like she seems like a really like sweet girl. And I guess if she can act, that'd be great. But I don't know if she's gonna be like this verse Kara, like, because she is Superman's cousin. And like for me, I feel like they're overhyping it a bit. Like, yeah, it's great, like a Latin female, like as a Latina, like I'm excited about that. But I'm just like, they're overhyping it. Like she's not playing a Latin character.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
To use that, it doesn't really make a difference. Like we mentioned Jessica Alba before, like every time J-Lo plays a white woman, we don't celebrate it. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
And yet people are going to use the excuse like, oh, she's Kryptonian, she's an alien, but she's still a white girl with blonde hair. So
True.
I don't know. I mean, if she kills it, she kills it. But I'm just like, I feel like they're overhyping it a bit.
You're not throwing parades out there. Like you're not sitting there.
Like the media's doing.
Let's see how she does, but we don't even know if she's from this earth. Like
Exactly. I mean, but that's the casting, folks. I'm not gonna. If you want to know all our thoughts on topics like that, just watch the Trigger episode. We went in depth with that. Okay.
Yeah,
Since we're on the topic of DC,
I think Jerome.
Oh, you want to go?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I was just excited that she's gonna be that Supergirl, the character is gonna be in the Flash movie.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like I didn't.
I don't even think my thing for that is that I don't even remember if Supergirl was in the Flashpoint comics, so I don't know why she.
This isn't even like Flashpoint comics, though.
Yeah,
didn't they say Thomas Wayne's not in it now? I don't know what they're doing.
It's just weird.
They're taking Thomas Wayne out of the Flashpoint.
Yeah, because I think Michael Keaton's replacing Thomas Wayne. That's why.
So I'm just like, don't call it Flashpoint because I don't know.
Yeah,
what they're
because
doing
the thing is, the whole point of Flashpoint, Thomas Wayne was a huge part of Flashpoint.
Yeah, that's what Michael Keaton's, because they originally were going to get Jeffrey D. Morgan to reprise his role from Thomas Wayne from BBS until they got Michael Keaton.
Yeah, but you can still use.
But that doesn't
Michael
mean they're
Keaton.
not going to. I mean, but you don't know if they're not going to still use it.
We don't know, but still, we'll see. But
well, I'm not going to dwell on that. But this to my point, Jarrell, as to why I sometimes have a problem with DC stuff. Because if you read Flashpoint was such a wonderfully written comic book.
Hell yeah.
And Thomas Wayne was a big part of it, because if you read it, the last comic book under the Flash part of it, because they did break it down into 3 different comic books. It was Flashpoint according to Green Lantern, Superman, and Wonder Woman, right? So the last point of the Flash one was when Flash finally puts everything back, he goes to Bruce and he explains to Bruce everything that happened. Yeah. He hands Bruce a letter. Yeah. And he tells him, and not like from the, see, the thing is, the anime didn't do it justice, because there's a point in the comic book after he hands Bruce the letter and Bruce reads it, and he looks at Barry and he reads it again and he starts sobbing and he says, "Thank you, Barry." And you don't have to look into it to understand that his father obviously wrote him something personal and something only he would know. Mm-hmm. And the emotion in it was beautifully done. The anime did it okay, but it was kind of like they still kept him as like that. "Thank you, Barry. I appreciate you.
You're one hell of a messenger."
Like, yo, come on. Like, he didn't even look like he broke an emotional tear in there. He was just like, "Yeah, Barry, thanks for bringing up my dead dad."
I mean, I do agree with that point, but I had to admit that I did get the feels when Kevin Conroy said that line. I was just like, damn, he's good.
Yeah. So not to have, what do you call it? His father in there as the Batman. Mm-hmm. And this is not knocking Michael Keaton, because I want to see Michael Keaton come back.
Yeah.
Batman Beyond all day.
Yeah, to come back in Batman Beyond, but to not have him come in as his father, as Thomas Wayne, which was a big point of Flashpoint. It's kind of like, what are you doing with the story, guys? Like, I get Michael Keaton would be better coming in as Batman Beyond than it would be coming back in this Flashpoint movie, messing up the whole point of having Thomas Wayne as Batman.
Because you could have used the connection with Ben, because Ben Affleck's Batman's already an emotional wreck. Yeah. I mean, this would have been great healing for him. So, but speaking of the, since we're on the topic of DC, because we're going to talk Mortal Kombat next, Snyder Cut's last trailer. Well, actually, he's dropping one more before the. Of
course, he is.
He's going to drop one more. But the recent Snyder Cut trailer finally dropped that everybody was waiting for on Valentine's Day. Or Single Awareness Day, depending how you view it.
Single Awareness Day. I gotta use that.
Depending how you view that day. And truthfully, don't worry about it.
I was like, oh, sheesh.
I joined you that week, folks. So, but anyway, I'll go first with it. I did like the trailer, but for me, I mean, my hype is still the same. I'm more hyped for Darkseid in the Nightmare sequence, which I think is probably, my prediction is going to be the best sequence in the entire movie. And I rewatched the Justice League yesterday, just for the preparation for the show. And I noticed some things that, like, conversations get cut a bit in that. Yeah. Like, there's like missing a lot of context. Like,
I pointed that out when we did the very first podcast.
Yeah, but like I watched it again. I was like, oh shit, Jarrell's right. I was like, okay.
The conversation with Batman and Cyborg.
Conversation with Batman and Flash. Batman and Aquaman. I was like, how you just talk and then cut to... I was like, wait, what happened?
Well, I think from someone that does a lot of editing, you notice a bad cut when you see it.
And I think a lot of that was that a lot of people like to blame Joss Whedon for that. I think a lot of that was due to the studio heads. I don't think that had anything to do with it.
It don't matter who's at fault.
Yeah, but no. But see, that's not fair. That's not fair because you know what? He takes a lot of shit for how that came out, and for you to say, "Oh, I don't care whose fault it is." No. We have to put blame where it is. Yeah, but if the studio made him cut that I'm pretty sure Joss Whedon is a talented enough producer to know that. No, we can't cut this because it kills the context. Even if it's not my vision, it kills the context of the movie. And if somebody from up high comes down, I don't give a fuck what you're saying. Cut that out.
But you don't know if he did that or not.
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying.
For all we know, it was his idea.
But what I'm saying is the statement of I don't care who it is.
No, meaning
takes away from
when I say I don't care who it is, meaning I've adamantly blamed the executives as well as Josh Whedon from day one. I never said it's all Whedon's. Like, I'm the one that said, like, I'm the one who used the line, "It's not a DC problem, it's a Warner Brothers executive problem."
Yep.
They want to shit a movie out every 6 weeks.
And I think he's still like, and I think that's the biggest problem with DC. Some of these, like, even I give Snyder much credit. He comes up with something which Jarrell and I have talked about. He's not a storyteller. He's a visual director. He comes up with something brilliant. Visually, it looks great. And somebody's sitting up high like, let me look at the time. You know what? This is taking too much. No, you're going to have to cut this out. And it seems the only time they don't jump up his ass about something about doing that is when it's a property that nobody knows.
Yeah, they don't care about.
Like Watchmen. They didn't think anybody would care about Watchmen. And it ended up becoming a great movie. Like, because it was an obscure comic for fans.
The first Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Dawn of the Dead.
Not watch. Damn it,
Shazam.
300. No, 300. They didn't think anybody would care about 300. They thought only maybe history buffs would. The entire world ended up going to see 300, and it was like such a great movie. So when they don't have their hands in it, and you sit down and you see what it is. That's why I said, like, going at Whedon, I think he tried. They looked at him and said, "We have a problem with this movie. We don't think it's going to do this." He's not listening to us. He wants to do shit his way. We're going to get rid of him. We saw what you did with the Avengers movie. We need you to bring that magic in. He was probably like, look, dude, Avengers, DC, two different entities. And it was something Justin and I discussed because it was something that was said about how this Justice League movie is ending. I'm pretty sure Whedon looked back and said, if you do this, it's going to look like you're copying Marvel, the way the ending is supposed to come in. For those out there, it seems the ending is supposed to be the Justice League loses and they make a comeback in the next one. And I'm pretty sure he said, if you do this, this is going to look like you guys are they came out first.
Yeah, I was saying,
you're copying Marvel's copying you, or you're copying Marvel, and then it'll become did Marvel do it better?
Yeah, because it's because
the Snyder. Original Snyder was supposed to come out first.
Yeah, because if you look at the way the Justice League movie I'm only doing that, folks, because that's what the internet calls it now. So the Justice League and then the Snyder League. So I was watching it yesterday, and I couldn't just help doing comparisons. Like, they have Steppenwolf going there to collect the mother boxes. Thanos goes and sends to collect the Infinity Stones.
But the funny thing is, the established thing about the Marvel Universe was that Thanos from the first Avengers movie was sending people to get the stones. So it's not like, okay, so then if you want to look at a timeline as that, then yes, you're copying off of Marvel, because that's been Marvel's thing from the comic book. Yeah. Everybody wants the stones. It's just different way everybody looks for how to collect it.
And as far as the trailer goes, I would just have to say what I'm looking forward to, definitely the nightmare scene. And for some reason, the biggest thing, and this is just me looking at our Instagram, our Twitter, the biggest takeaway people took from this trailer is the Joker saying, "We live in a society." Yeah. I'm just like, we just got fucking Darkseid, and you're talking about we live in a society.
It's like, it was cool to see him, but the line didn't exactly like.
Yeah, I think
because it's a meme. Yeah. That's why. It's like, he said a meme. Look inside, Snyder, listen to us. I'm just like,
I think what had happened is, like, when you take a look at that Joker, which for me, I've been critical of Jared Leto's Joker from the get go. To see him like that, I was just like, holy crap, this Joker looks 10 times better than what he was. I was like, I actually like this. Like, look at his face. I was like, this.
And y'all tried to kick me out.
Yeah. No.
We kicked you out for hold on. We kicked you out for Suicide Squad Joker. Okay. Yeah. This is a different
because
Joker right now.
The Macaulay Culkin looking Joker was just not it for me.
We ain't Home Alone this shit right now, all right?
But I did think, like, this is just my opinion. I did think the trailer looked good, but to hang you on your own words, I also think the fans are making more of it. Just like with Wanda Vision. Yeah. They're making more of the Snyder Cut. And then what's going to happen is, if it doesn't either blow the expectation or come just in line with it, it's going to be a failure. And part of it, I think, where even though they gave Snyder a lot of creative, like they put this in his hands, Warner Brothers executives are still there. Like, we need this movie to be the Marvel killer, and I'm like, you need to stop doing that.
Yeah,
DC needs to be its own universe to bring, because comic book fans love both comic books, both properties, and we need to be able to say, this is what Marvel does, this is what DC does. I love DC because anybody will tell you, I love DC villains 10 times more than Marvel villains.
Hell yeah.
Because I feel like DC built them to be like more of the star than the heroes are the side piece of it. The
Batman
DC,
has a whole catalog of villains that can introduce besides the Joker.
Not to mention the Flash alone.
And
well.
I even said, no matter what Batman villain you bring, even if he's like some dopey character that you don't believe in, like how many times did you think the Riddler, the only villain that you can think of in Batman that's a threat, is the Joker? But people have written the Riddler as some wild ass character. Scarecrow.
Even Lockdown has a good ass arc.
Yeah.
Clock King.
Yeah.
And these
Scarecrow,
are like
Clock
C-list
King,
characters.
Yeah, these are characters I look at and go, oh, they're funny.
Scarface,
hokey.
Mr. Pig.
Yeah, they're hokey characters that you're just like, but it just shows you that DC villains are so good. All you have to do is take the right person to write a story for them, and bam, these dudes become like the shit. And they don't have powers. They're just so good. They're just so good and cunning at everything they do. So I'm just like, not saying Marvel doesn't have good characters, but the writing for DC characters makes you really go in depth at how wild these characters, how just on a level of how fucked up they can be to everybody in the world. And I was like, you need to, that's why I was always so adamant about fuck the Justice League remake. You need to bring us the Legion of Doom, because what keeps pissing me off is, okay, now you introduce me to Cheetah. This woman was phenomenal in this role. And you're going to kick it to the back burner? Like, first of all, I'm already pissed that Wonder Woman kicked it to the back burner throughout the whole movie.
For Maxwell Lord.
For Maxwell Lord. Like, that's who should have been on the back burner. But now you're kicking her to the back burner to promote this again. All right, and there are other characters like what do you call it? Black Manta.
Yeah, Black Manta took Manta. He took a back seat to Ocean Master.
I'm like, I'm sitting there looking like, yo, this dude Black Manta, his anger by itself was the shit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm sitting there looking at him like, this dude, and even the role played with his father, like his mindset was like, I'm gonna kill you for killing my daddy. Like, he's the reverse Batman for me.
Yeah, and it's funny because when he does that, there's a party that's like, he kind of has a point. Because when he asks you dead ass like, hey, help me save my father, and you're like, no, I'm like, well, shit, now I feel bad for him.
And that's what makes DC villains very compelling, is because you can look. I'm not saying Marvel does it too, at least with Norman Oz, Spider-Man's arc, Spider-Man's rogue gallery,
Dr. Octopus as of recent has been the only character that I'm like is on that level for me right now.
Like Spider-Man's rogue gallery, I guess X-Men. I like the X-Men rogue gallery. Well, I mean Magneto. I guess probably had the movie.
Yeah, but they don't hold the Batman weight though.
I mean, look like when you look at DC villains, you have Batman's art on rogue gallery, Flash rogue gallery alone.
Yeah,
both of those two alone. It's just like wow.
Honestly,
and I did that before with my brother because he's like a huge Spider-Man fan.
Yeah,
and we did a thing where I said, okay, you start naming off Spider-Man villains, I'll start naming off Batman villains. We'll see who runs out first. He ran out when he got to maybe like 40 something. I'm still going.
But you also have to understand, a lot of Batman villains.
Was Polka Dot Man in there?
Are other people's villains that just for some reason got annoyed with Batman that week, and ended up staying with Batman because it's like they couldn't beat the super powered hero they were facing, and now you got this dude with no powers whooping my ass. No. I'm gonna have to concentrate on fucking him up first, and that's it.
And they lose all the time. Like,
And one thing I can say about Batman villains though, with the exception of maybe like one or two. And which is why, why everybody probably feels like their stories are so compelling and they're so deep characters. Every Batman villain was legitimately wronged at some point in their life, which is why they became a villain. They didn't just wake up one day and was just like, I just want to blow some shit up. Like something was actually something actually happened to them, to where they feel justified now doing what they're doing.
I'm gonna say more than 1 or 2. About 10 of them don't have that excuse.
Yeah. Mr. Freeze is a good example.
Mr. Freeze is a good example, but Deathstroke isn't.
Yeah, Deathstroke isn't.
I mean, Deathstroke just trying to get paid though.
Even the Joker, like if we're doing the comedian, who was laughed at or whatever, and couldn't.
Oh, you mean the Killing Joke?
Yeah, no, the Joker was really fucked over throughout his life, and if you do the Hush version of what it was, you really feel bad for the Joker.
Yeah.
But to say this once, it's not true about Marvel fans because Mr. Sinister would give Hush a run for his money.
Yeah.
Like he's an X-Men villain that they keep shitting on every movie. Like if they ever did something with Mr. Sinister properly, it will blow your mind about how screwed up this dude is. And it's not like he's screwed up like he's recent. This dude has been alive since like the 1400s.
You know what? What if he's responsible for WandaVision?
Oh, for WandaVision?
Yeah.
That would be a shock.
Yeah.
I don't know, because that's somebody no one's expecting at all.
I'm about to kick you in your head right now because now you just has that rolling around in my mind. Fuck you, Justin.
I'm just saying, but that
now you've just disappointed him for the season finale.
No, but I'm just saying, but that will be so left field, and that'll be a great way to introduce the X-Men.
Nadia, from now on, Justin's not allowed to bring out his theories.
I'm sorry, that's the writer in me. That's how I would have wrote it. Sorry.
No, but going back to the Snyder Cut, I purposely didn't do a review for the trailer because the 4 of us talked about the DC fandom trailer.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person, I'm not doing a review twice because there's nothing different I'm going to say the second time that I didn't already say the first time. And,
That's true.
And the Snyder trailer, because I'm already going to see it, but the second trailer, it's not enough for me to go out of my way to do a video.
This is most of the same clips.
Yeah, with the only 2 things that was different, because everybody's talking about Darkseid and Joker. I'm just like, yo, that was Granny Goodness in the background. Why ain't nobody bringing that shit up?
I didn't notice. Yeah.
Like,
I didn't notice until seeing that. Like when Justin pointed it. Like damn.
I was excited to see the Joker, and then like Sean said, for everybody that's like, oh, the Joker, that mean, and now they're coming up with all these ridiculous over the top rope theories. For all we know, the clip that they showed us, that's probably his whole thing.
Dude, he's probably in there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm not jumping off a bridge on this one because I don't want to let myself down. But I was excited about the Granny Goodness thing because I'm like, well, if we got Granny Goodness, maybe we'll get Big Barda and maybe there'll be some Fury acts. Like, I would love to see the Furies just pop up out of a wormhole and just bust Wonder Woman's ass. Like, if we get a Wonder Woman versus Big Barda, I'm down with that. So Granny Goodness is the only thing about the trailer that actually got me out of my seat. But aside from that, there was nothing different.
I'm not going to burst anybody's bubbles, but I mean, apparently she's just like background because
Granny.
I guess because he really wanted Judi Dench, so he got someone that looks like Judi Dench. This is on record, so he was like, somebody on the production's like, oh, my aunt looks like Judy. He's like, yo, just get her and put her in the background.
Let's get her in here.
Well, I'm just gonna say this real quick because we need to get Nadia's opinion on. Only thing I don't like is the look of Darkseid because he looks more like the Planet of the Apes guy. Like, not to always compare it, but Darkseid is the same size as Thanos. And that's not just because I've read the Marvel versus DC thing. And the one thing I love about Darkseid is that he is such an arrogant asshole.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that any man can fight you with his arms behind his back, like folded up in such a way. And then the only time he ever got pissed off is when Batman did shit that he just couldn't understand the fight. And then he steps out of his character for 2 seconds before he goes back to that arrogant look and just shoots an Omega beam at somebody. And does it so?
But he's supposed to be a young Darkseid though. So
I
don't think he's developed that arrogance yet.
Yeah, even young Darkseid, kind of. I will give it that. If he is young Darkseid, I'll let it go because I want. And the thing is, like,
well, Snyder just said he's just starting out.
Yeah, so. And like the thing is, Darkseid is as big as not just as a comparison as Thanos, like muscularly developed to like very. Combat and everything. He's really the shit. Yeah. When it comes to that. So if this is young Darkseid, I can deal with it. But if you give me like this thin, for his race, 1 meal away from death, Darkseid.
I know this is probably not going to be in a movie, and then we're going to pass to Nadia. But if he does not say I mean, this is the only thing I'll be disappointed with. If he don't say something about his Omega beams, let me hit you. Like, you know how they was in the Super Friends and even in the Injustice game, I'm going to hit you with these Omega beams. Like, announce the attack before he does it. I'm going to be mad disappointed. That's it.
I'll be kind of disappointed if it says it because it sounds like he's about to drop a rap verse. Like,
I'm about to hit you with these Omega beams.
Like, he just looks at Batman and puts on like a gold chain and be like, yo, I'm about to hit you with these Omega beams. Like, yo, pass me the mic. Check this out. Like,
all right, Nani, what are your thoughts on Snyder Cut trailer, the last one?
I just think that DC needs this. Like, it's not, I mean, it's them promoting it, but it's also the fans putting so much, like, pressure on this movie.
Yeah, I like how she said that.
It has to be good. Like, I mean, after the, like, atrocity of Wonder Woman 84, like, this shit needs to be good for DC.
Yeah.
Like, Marvel is, like, destroying them right now.
I mean, yeah.
And then I feel like, I guess back to the Justice League movie, wasn't it like short of 2 hours? I remember it feeling very short.
It was supposed to be, they had them chopped down because originally the release was going to be 3 hours, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. So they had, because of the feedback and the criticism from Batman v Superman and the president of Warner Brothers at that time, it was Hamada, I think. Yeah, Hamada said, yo, you need to keep this 2 hours. That's it.
No, I'll agree with Jarrell. That shit should have been 3 hours.
Yeah,
because cut out way too much.
My whole thing is like, stop worrying about Marvel. Period. Like, don't worry about what they do. The 3 hour movies have worked for DC. Watchmen was phenomenal.
Yeah.
All the Nolanverse movies were 3 hours and they were phenomenal.
Joker.
I saw all of them in theaters like 3 times. I even went to the Nolanverse thing where he did that whole interview and you could watch all 3 movies in one day. I sat there for 9 hours watching those movies. Like, if it's a good movie, we'll watch the 3 hours.
Even the 4 hour cut of The Watchmen was good.
Yeah, because that's when they included the comic in there.
Just give us a proper movie, like a good, just have a good freaking movie.
And
so like they destroyed like Snyder's whole vision. So being that this is 4 hours, I guess it's gonna feel like 2 films. But I just think DC needs to make this work.
Well, the good thing is being at home when it comes out, even if it is 4 hours, there's a point if you got to get up and go to the bathroom, you can go to the bathroom. Because I think, who did I go see Endgame with? Did I go with you?
Nah.
Okay, I went to go see Endgame and literally, like a dumbass, drank too much soda. And at one point, the point where Captain America and Iron Man are going to see Iron Man's dad at the base, there was a point where I had to keep going, can I miss this part that I can catch up? And then it got to the point where I just got up and said, fuck it. Whatever I missed, tell me about what happened during the movie. And I literally almost fell down. I was in Lindbergh, fell down the flight of stairs. Wow. Running downstairs to the back. Well, this is not Lindbergh. This is Robbie Center. Running down the flight of stairs to get to the bathroom. And I had bad knees. To get to the bathroom, pee so fast that it felt like the Flash. Wash my hands. Flash the guy my ticket that I was in there. He didn't even ask. He goes, I know it's happened already. Run to the escalator. Not even go up the escalator rate. Run up the escalator. Fling the door open because the whole theater heard it and run back to my seat and get there just to go, oh, you just missed one little pivotal part. But that's how fast it was just to get through a 3-hour movie, 3.5 hour movie. So at least with this, I will praise Snyder on this. Putting it on HBO Max, I can pause and go to the bathroom.
I mean, for me, I'm used to the 3 hour or 4 hour type of movies because a lot of movies these days are really taking the time out to really flesh out their arcs, and like 2 hours and 30 is becoming like the standard now for like a lot of movies these days because they really want to take. I mean, if you're spending millions on a film anyway, you want to at least tell the best story and flesh out characters and themes as much as possible. So, for me, like, Snyder is known for having long movies. Like, I think his shortest movie was the Owl cartoon that he did. Like, even Sucker Punch was like 2 hours plus. Yeah. So, and
that was probably the only movie they've ever trashed of his. Yeah. Where I think Sucker Punch was not bad.
Yeah. So, for me, as the Snyder Cut, we're going to do a full that whole episode, that week of the movie comes out, we're dedicating the entire episode to the Snyder Cut movie. It's going to be a full review from us, so everyone can expect that. So I mean, it's 4 hours, so of course it's going to be its own entire episode. So
the episode will either be me and Jarrell and Nadia and Justin fucking refereeing us yelling back and forth about what we hated, or we're both going to have a love fest about how good that movie was.
So from this point forward, folks, don't worry. We are now. Snyder is now out of the system.
Is on
pause until the week of March 18th. But this is something.
Nadia said nah.
No, I said yeah.
She said, yeah. So
I don't want to hear anything else.
Me either. So that's why I'm doing this. So we're gonna get into something I think is very. I don't know, man. This for me. I'm more excited about this one, but this is.
I think everybody at the table is like shaking it.
I'm just like Mortal Kombat. What the fuck?
Wait, hold up. Except for Jarrell, who's moving his hands back and forth, like I don't know.
This is the only reboot I have waited my whole life for. Yeah. I remember back in, what was it, like 96, 97, being a kid, leaving the movie theater, dancing and jumping and fighting, like going crazy. And that's how I feel for this movie. Like, that trailer got me so hyped.
This is what I've always... I mean, this is just from a trailer. It looks like they have done it. It's like they're taking... I mean, they're taking some liberties with certain characters, backstory and stuff like that. But for like I said, when it comes to adaptation, not everything is going to be how you want it to be from the accuracy of the game or whatever the lore is. Like, for instance, in the open...
Yeah, don't say that when it's DC, though.
I mean, I usually say this.
No. Truth be told, not to cut him off, I say that about all comic book movies. If you don't get it close enough to it, I'm cussing your ass out.
and I mean, I say it all the time with the CW. Remember, I said about with the. Oh no. I know what you mean, but I will.
You're not wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. No, when it comes to me, he's absolutely right. But there's a reason for that. I actually have extreme love for DC. So when you do some bullshit like Felicity, I'm not. So when you do Felicity and Oliver instead of Felicity instead of in Laurel, I got a fucking problem with that. But we're gonna leave it like that. So
the Dawson's Creek shit.
Yes, exactly. But that's it. We're gonna pin that for another time when we do a full CW episode. I promise you, folks, we're gonna do one. So we're gonna pin that for now. And that's going to be a Justin and Nadia versus Jarrell episode. Sean going to moderate that shit.
Yeah, I don't have a dog in this fight.
But I personally like the opening of this trailer with Jax and Sub-Zero. And for those who just want to see just a quick breakdown, this is not the Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat 3. This is the original bad Sub-Zero. This is the older brother that was beefing with Scorpion in 1 and 2 from the games. So just to have him freeze Jax's arms and and I love Jax's look. Like he's like, oh shit, he's about to.
Let me tell you something. When I saw this trailer and he did that to Jax, I was like, somewhere I know Jarrell was like, why the brother got to get it like that? Why he got to catch hell? Why he got to get his arm ripped off in the first 5 minutes of the movie? What you trying to say?
But the production looks so good, and my only gripe, and I think this is the biggest complaint from everybody, is that who the fuck is Cole? Word. Why is he in this movie? And where the fuck is Johnny Cage? So that's everybody's complaining. Like, yo, you're doing an MK movie and y'all don't got Johnny Cage up in this shit? Like, where's Johnny Cage? But maybe Cole probably is Johnny Cage, but who knows? I hope not. But Nadia, since you're a big MK, what are your thoughts on the trailer?
Like I said, I'm super hyped. I don't know if you guys remember that like little YouTube thing a while ago.
Oh, I remember it.
Yeah.
And that was fire.
Yeah.
That was like one of the closest things I saw to like MK, where I was like, oh man, like we need a reboot. But when they announced this, I was super hype. And then the guy playing Cole, Louis Tan, I'm a big fan of his. And I like that some of the actors in this actually have like martial artist training and have been in a lot of like similar roles, because I prefer that. Like, I'm happy. Like, I always talk about this, but like sometimes I feel like Hollywood always casts the same people, or like people that are trendy. And like for me, this casting seems like perfect. Like I'm just super excited overall. And the whole what was it? Sub-Zero when he cut the guy with his own blood.
Caught Scorpion with his blood and froze it.
Oh my god!
and stabbed him with it. How you stab somebody with their own blood?
I was like, oh shit. So yeah, I'm hyped.
Surprise Scorpion when he got stabbed. They go, the audacity to stab me with my own. Oh, whoa, you getting fucked right now.
That's the most disrespectful shit you can do to somebody. You make them bleed. You take their own blood and use it as a weapon so they can bleed some more. And you kill them with it. It's just like, Sub-Zero is going to be like top tier villain right in this one. Yeah. And I like the Goro. I will say like a little bit more of my complaints. I will say Goro CGI doesn't look finished.
They still could never get it right. Goro right.
Goro still looks like a little. He's not. I'm hoping the rendering's not done yet, but
he's not Mortal Kombat 1 Goro, where you were just like, what the fuck is that?
It's like he got. His hair. I was just like, yo, he got a Caesar. Like, what the fucking Goro is this? And I'm loving the Liu Kang fatality. I'm glad they included the dragon in there. That shit look fire. Like, no pun intended. Scorpion has his get over here. And it seems to be very... I'm happy that it seems to be really centered around the Scorpion. And because they're the two most popular characters, the Scorpion and Sub-Zero. So it seems like the movie is really based on Scorpion, Sub-Zero. I mean, you got Kung Lao in there. You got Raiden. I mean, they got. It looks like they're taking characters from 1 and 2 because I ain't seen Night Wolf or other characters from the other 11 games that's in this shit. So, but for the most part, it looks like they're really taking the liberty. I mean, you did see a Shao Kahn Easter egg in there because there's a big ass statue for him. So, so he'll be revealed soon. Hopefully, it's not like the first movie was like, "You harmless fools, I come for your souls.
Your warrior's soul, is mine."
And
it's rated R. Yes.
Jarrell, you look like you are chomping at the bit
to
go ahead, man.
I'm really not. I'm just listening.
No, but you look like you're like I just want to give you my opinion about Mortal Kombat. And I have a feeling like there are fans sitting there right now listening. Hear this,
go fucking go.
What he gotta say?
Yeah, exactly.
He gonna be the type of Negro that like Annihilation better.
Yeah. So go ahead, man.
See now the pressure's on.
Get ready to get kicked out.
I mean, I definitely thought it was definitely more visually appealing than the original. You could tell like they actually put money into it. Like they actually put like money and time into it. Like Nadi said, how like you said you were looking forward. This was the reboot you were looking for. I'm still waiting for my Street Fighter.
Yeah, I agree.
Like that's the one I'm waiting for.
You ain't like the John Claude Van Damme?
Like what you trying to say? Somebody actually
and what was it? Kylie Minogue.
Wait, you ain't like the Legend of Chung Li?
Shit, I like that better than the original Street Fighter.
Like,
wait, for Chung Li's in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I saw that article.
I saw that too.
I was like, are you? I was like, this is journalism. I was like, I hope to God that this person is trolling and doing this for like a definition of clickbait.
Like Jerome probably looked now like here, like they finally say here's more than $20,000 to go complete this film.
I mean, I was never a Mortal Kombat game player.
Yeah.
I was always a Street Fighter. I'm aware of Mortal Kombat, but I never played it. I always play Street Fighter. But one thing that was cool for me, the dude who plays Jax, Makad Brooks, he was Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl.
Yeah,
and he when he left Supergirl to do the Mortal Kombat. So I was a fan of him on Supergirl, so I was happy to see him,
And just not to cut you off, just a reference for those who know the movie, Ashtray, bitch.
and yes, Sean, when they froze his arms off, I was like, really? I was like, the brother been on screen 13 seconds, he already lost both his arms. One thing that actually did disappoint me, because they saved the Sub-Zero Scorpion stuff for the end. And when he did the "get over here" line, like there was no enthusiasm in that shit. Like when he said it, I was just kind of like, "Yeah, that's it."
It sounded like he said, "Sir,
yeah,
may I request your presence closer to me, sir?
Get over here."
I was like, it was almost like, are you telling him or are you asking him?
Please get over here.
Yeah, like that fell really flat for me.
Yeah.
But it was one of those like, why'd you even put that in there if there was like no enthusiasm behind it? But Yeah, I'm saying, but I'm gonna watch it.
But you know what would be good for a Street Fighter movie? The director, whoever did the Raid series, that would be perfect director. I would think for Street Fighter.
I mean, you just need somebody that actually knows who the Street Fighter characters are.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, when you tell someone about Street Fighter characters, they come up with these weird things. Like they think they do other things than what they actually do. Yeah, sure. And I don't understand like where this disconnect keeps coming in at.
Like Chun-Li's like, wasn't she a cop as well? Like,
yeah, she's supposed to be a cop.
Chun-Li's a cop, and then
she was in the movie also, the animated series also.
Yeah,
the anime series, and the anime movie is. Yeah. Awesome.
But what was she in the movie? A ballerina? Like she was a pianist or something?
No, she was a news reporter.
Yeah. No, not the original movie. The Legend of Chun-Li. We are not discussing the original Street Fighter movie.
Oh, I only saw clips of the Legend of Chun-Li. I did like 10 minutes and I was like, yo, this shit's trash. I gotta turn this off. Like, I feel sorry for anyone who went to the theaters for that, thinking that like, yo, this is gonna be the reboot we was waiting for. Like, yo, they got Michael Clark Duncan as
that was actually good Balrog casting.
Yeah, so I mean,
and then they blew it with the Vega casting.
Yeah,
Vega was just like some like overweight like Asian dude. And I was like, who thought this was a good idea? You know, like the Nash thing was. I was okay with the Nash. You know, the guy who played Nash was Cicada on The Flash. That was interesting. But
the Oz from the American Pie, Chris Pine.
I guess.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I only know him as Oz from American Pie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like it's just weird. That's why I'm like when I saw the Mortal Kombat trailer, I was just like, oh, someone actually gets it. I was like, you could tell like whoever did this actually played the game at some point. Like they know who these people are.
This might be probably the best video game movie we're gonna get.
Yeah, probably.
Because let's be honest, I didn't even see Monster Hunter yet, but I heard that shit is terrible. It's just like it's like every time they do something like that, they have to involve soldiers. Like the Monster Hunter is the simplest premise. It's these people who just hunt these monsters, and that's it. You overcomplicating it by bringing in this military arc, and it's just like, nah, dude, we got swords or arrows. We gotta kill these beasts. Call it a day. It's a simple ass premise. Y'all overcomplicating this, and then y'all putting TI in it.
And then you putting TI in it. And if it does turn out to be good, then somebody needs to slap Capcom and be like, "See, now get it right."
That was like throwing Ashanti in Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm. Damn, yo, she has some deep seated. Yo, did Ashanti not write the right love song for you before? Because like, I don't know what she did to you. Like, yeah, Ashanti should never act again.
No, she should not.
Damn. Like
they put her with Mike Epps.
Y'all met. She didn't sign your autograph, did she? Like,
no, but like, I mean, just not to stray away from our outline, but you know, when you think about video game movies, like I like the original Mortal Kombat for me was the best one I've seen. I mean, because it's just like I think about
the original Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, the one from the 90s. Because name another video game movie that you like really.
It was popping.
That really.
You can't lie.
Like, listen, it was popping, but I always had a problem with Johnny Cage, Goro, and Sonya throughout the whole thing. I didn't have a problem with Liu Kang.
You mean bootleg Cammy?
Yeah, like
yeah,
I didn't have a problem with that, and I had an even more issue with Mortal Kombat, the second one, Annihilation.
Well, we don't talk about that. That's why.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
You have to talk about that because the whole thing with Nightwolf, like the way he was walking around, I was like, what acting school did you go to? Who did you talk to get this role? Like,
I had more problems with Shao Kahn. Like anytime he opened his mouth, this dude was so over the top and ham. Yeah. And the fact they killed the boy Johnny Cage, like the original actor read the script, he's like, nah, I ain't coming back. So it's like, all right, we're gonna kill your character like in the first 5 minutes.
It's like, give me the Cyclops.
I'm like, I'm in theaters like this is like just something. I think it's probably like me at 11 or 12 when I forgot when it came out, but I'm mad hyped because like, yo, we getting a sequel. Mm-hmm. Johnny Cage 5 minutes like, yo, this shit's gonna be trash, isn't it? And I was just like, yo, the whole time I'm just sitting here like this. And my mom was like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Yo, can we go?" Because like they took the wind out of my sails. Yeah. You didn't even get the original Sonya back. You had this girl with a nice body, and you got this frail, skinny ass Sonya Blade. We're just like, and then you had Jax talking and jiving all the time.
He
just like
shucking and jiving.
Yeah, all the time.
And the fact that Jax's arms weren't what they are, they were just robotic things that were put on enhance his strength. Like,
I was just like, yo, yeah. So I mean, that's why like when I look at the first one, and I think of other video game movies, like some people like Resident Evil will probably be the best video game movie right now. Like that came out.
I keep forgetting about Resident Evil.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one. Or
there's right.
Yeah, but nah. For me, that's because I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. Like as we all know, I'm a horror guy.
Tomb Raider was good though.
Which one? The remake? I mean, the reboot or Angelina?
Well, both of them. Well, the first Angelina movie and the reboot movie.
Because Cradle of Life was trash.
Yeah, Cradle of Life was trash. I'm talking about the first Angelina movie.
Angelina?
The first Angelina movie and the reboot movie.
I mean,
the reboot. If you played the Tomb Raider video game for PlayStation,
yeah,
the reboot movie,
it's close to
it's the video game come to life.
Yeah,
and I think
it's just the actress for me didn't work for me.
Yeah,
like that could have been good.
Yeah, but the movie itself, I thought the movie was good.
It was boring to me. I was bored. Like I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I started watching. I was like, I could just play the game and get more enjoyment from this shit, from story wise and everything else. But I mean, for me, like, I'm happy for this because hopefully, I mean, if you want to talk best video game adaptation, I would definitely have to say, and this is not even a movie. It's a show. It's Castlevania. Like, they nailed that shit.
All right, wait, before we all get ahead, because I haven't even told you guys what I thought about
the
Mortal Kombat. Like,
I totally forgot about you, Sean.
Yeah. Sort of how like we should forget about the first Street Fighter movie.
Yeah.
But, like,
I agree. Now, who wants to go home? It's like, bro, you're not even American. Jesus. You're not even American. Who wants to go with me?
Yo, come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all can't stop ragging on the first Street Fighter. Yo, they tried. Yo, come on, they tried.
So I didn't even see the trailer when it came out at first because everybody was like, "Oh, I was at work suffering." So everybody was like, "Oh, the Street Fighter, the Mortal Kombat trailer's out. You got to go see it." So I'm just like, all right, whatever. These motherfuckers every time everybody always gets overhyped about this. Let me see what this is. And like Nadia said, I too did see the YouTube thing, and I was like, it's probably not gonna be better than that. And look at how low their production was when they made that. And they made such a good show, and I was like, all right, let me watch it. So I go in there, I pop it on, and I'm sitting there watching, and there's a point where like when it ends and I see Sub-Zero slash Scorpion and then Frieza's blood, and the first thing I was like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, yo, at that point I sat there for like 2 minutes and I was just like, all right, let's rewind this trailer one more time so I can see every nook and cranny of this trailer so that when we talk about it, I'm going to. And there's really, you guys summed up everything in there. There's nothing I can say other than when this thing comes out, like, I might have to call out of work just so I can see it first. Because when does it come out? It comes out
April something.
April.
It's definitely going to be a win for HBO Max.
Yeah, I might have to call out because I want to be able to like come here, grab my popcorn, sit in front of this 86-inch TV, and like just like while out while I'm watching this because it definitely looks like one of the best video game adaptation. And this is a whole movie. We're not going to do episodes of this. This is going to be a straight up. No. Meaning this won't be an episodic thing. It's going to be a straight movie.
Yeah.
And I am beyond. At one point, I wanted to host. If it wasn't for the Coco-19 going on right now, I wanted to host a watch party for this here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I still might be able to. Maybe in April, enough people will be inoculated. We can all get together. I'm just excited to see it. And that's all I really got to say. That's it.
I mean, not any last words since this is your
this is your ish.
I forgot. Back to the adaptations, though. We forgot Silent Hill. I didn't hate the Silent Hill movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You didn't hate the first one. Second one.
No, the second was trash.
I was just like,
Second one,
I didn't get it. Like, I just didn't get it.
Second one was trash, but it has sentimental value for me because that's how we met Danny and we did the interview with everybody.
No.
So
No, the second one, you know what it is? The biggest part of the second one was the Easter egg at the end with the dude in the truck that goes into the
Trevor.
That goes into the next.
Wasn't it Jon Snow?
No. Jon Snow's in the movie, but Trevor from Silent Hill Origins shows up.
Yeah,
and he's actually heading into the Silent Hill. So they was going to start the origins. They would have probably did the prequel of how Silent Hill came together, which was the Silent Hill Origins for the PSP that came out. So, but I mean,
I wouldn't mind a reboot of that.
I if they do it, do PT.
Do it right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, they can't do PT. I think only because. That was Hideo Kojima's baby, and I don't know if because we didn't get the video game, there won't be an expectation of anything. Like, the only thing we'll hope to get right is the damn constant walking around the rooms and seeing the other stuff. If they're gonna do, I think honestly, if you're gonna do a Silent Hill reboot, it needs to be what I think was the best Silent Hill of all of them, and that's Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
Silent Hill 2 was, even though they've already mixed it, Silent Hill 2 was I thought the first one was phenomenal. 2 took it to a level, because I think that was for the PS2. 2 was for the PS2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That game really psychologically fucked your head up.
Yeah.
At the end, because to find out that he killed his wife because she was sick with cancer and he couldn't take it anymore. And that's the reason why he's going through this, was like the hero was actually the villain the whole time. So I was just like, that whole thing screwed your head up at the end of that game. If you did it right, if you got the right ending, if you got the good ending.
And just before we go to the next trailer talk and go to Image Comics, I'm surprised they didn't do a Metal Gear movie yet all this time. That's something like you would think that's like be a big budget video game movie that they would really
they probably dabble with the idea, but just can't get it right. Even though there was after this Call of Duty, there was a talk of them coming out with a Call of Duty movie with all this, and I'm just like, how's that going to work? What makes Call of Duty great is just that the characters and operators are good for the game. It's not, they don't really put together a great. Well, no, actually, I have to take that back. Call of Duty has put up some of the best storylines.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't they have storylines?
Yeah, the only one that didn't have a storyline was the one before. I think it was Black Ops 4. Didn't
the one that was strictly on, that was more focused on online, right?
Yeah, it was more. That one didn't have a storyline, but then they ended up having to make a storyline by giving the operators their own individual stories. So I can't listen. We could probably make an entire episode about what video game movies should be coming out. So
we'll pin this one, folks. So let's segment on to our last trailer talk, which is Invincible, which is from Skybound Robert Kirkman. I did not read this comic, but I do like the trailer. Looks pretty good.
Let me tell you something. Invincible is... Nadia, did you read Invincible?
I read volume 1. I want to catch up because it's probably like a couple omnibus by now, right?
Yeah. Gerard, I don't know if you ever read Invincible. Okay.
I only read volume 1, but it's kind of like The Boys-ish. It's like fucked up.
So kind of take that your dad is a superhero. And this is not, and I'm pretty sure anybody who's ever read the comic book knows this already. So this is, I will say spoiler alert, but this is not to spoil it. Your dad is a superhero. One of the biggest superheroes in the world. He puts together one of the best superhero teams in the world. He's waiting for you to become an adolescent for your powers to kick in. Your powers finally do kick in. You're becoming a hero of your own, and then you find out the only reason you're here, your dad is here, is because he's from an alien planet full of superpowered beings that are sent to different planets to conquer from within. So his dad was supposed to come to the planet, earn their confidence, and then take over that planet with his offspring and become a conquering lord for his original planet. And the fact that your son, because they have a bunch of alternate timelines where there is one timeline where Invincible does join his dad in taking over the Earth. And they see it in a timeline. And then there's all the rest of the timelines. It's him. His dad has killed him. or him trying so hard to fight against his dad to stop him from doing it. But all this does not take place right away. I mean, I think there's like 40 or 50 comic books. So you're thinking about 4 years before they finally reveal that his dad was there to take over the Earth. They give you little hints, but they finally don't show it until later. And even when they do that, his dad is so hard. Like, his dad has like such a change of heart because of the love of his mom. He doesn't do it, but he beats his son's ass and then flies off to go take a break. And then he gives his son I'm not sure if he did it, and I didn't read the rest of the series. I'm not sure he did it to punish his son, but I think he did it to make his son strong enough to go back to their planet and whoop their ass, and not do it. But Invincible is the stories in Invincible is such a great comic book. The nobody ever jumped into you. They had, like, for some reason, Image puts out great material, but people don't jump on it.
Yeah.
Right away.
I love Image.
Yeah. The only thing they've jumped on is
Walking Dead.
But you got, because Spawn was the first, but you got Walking Dead, you have Quantum and Woody, you have Invincible. Another comic book that was supposed to be a TV series that was beautifully done and nobody jumped on it would have been a game changer because it was so weird. You had to like it. Chew. Nobody ever, they were supposed, like, I don't think it was TBS or one of them, dropped it. They were supposed
Saga, Witchblade, Deadly Class.
Well,
so many.
Well, we're not going to talk about Witchblade because if you ever see the original Witchblade that came out on TBS, like, somebody should have got drug out and shot after that was made. Somebody should have not just lost their job but lost their life after making that. Man. Like, that was just,
we gonna end you for this.
Like, that was a clusterfuck that just should have never been made, and it actually it got like 10 episodes. I was like, what the armor was terrible in that. Like, they took medieval armor and put it on her and put a blade on the medieval armor. And I was just like, what?
Oh, so CW production.
Oh. See, that's not it.
Wow.
And that's my one per day. One per episode.
See, I let Justin have those because I'm not a CW. So I'm not a CW stan.
Oh, no,
I only support the Arrowverse.
I like. Here's the crazy thing.
Hey, CW was popping before it was even CW.
Yeah,
back when it was the WB.
So I just defend the Arrowverse. So,
but Invincible will be a great, and the fact that it's animated and they didn't make it live action. I will say I am disappointed that Image has not pushed for Chew to come out, because those of you who don't know what Chew is about, it's about a detective somewhere in the near future. This was during the bird flu. Somewhere in the near future, the bird flu is kind of like how COVID is right now, but it was so deadly, people were dying from the avian flu. So chicken was outlawed. This is the wildest thing. So chicken ends up becoming.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna try really hard to not say it.
I got questions, but I'm not gonna say it.
So the fact that chicken is outlawed, what ends up happening is places like Kentucky Fried Chicken, Popeyes, and whatever have to end up literally going underground and becoming like drug dealers. They have
so the Popeyes chicken lady, like, ooh, child.
So there's a point where what do you call it? They okay. It must have. I don't know. It might have been when I took my. Is it better now?
Is it better now?
Nah, you guys got low.
Okay, it could be.
Sorry, folks. Technical.
Yeah, it's happened. What about now?
Think better?
Okay. It could be.
Still a little low.
It could be. I'll have to check on that. It could be the levels on here, but that would explain a few things. But when it comes to Chew, what ends up happening is, this is just a joking part of it, but basically chickens are outlawed. So if you're
black,
Yeah, no.
No.
So
damn, that's racist.
yeah. So what ends up happening is
We were all thinking it.
Yeah. What ends up happening is since you're not allowed to breed chickens, people were doing it in secret and then making like chicken restaurants. So you would see like people sneaking into like
Now I
underground.
hear you.
Oh, okay. People would sneak into like underground places to get fried chicken.
Okay. I have to read this fucking book.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is there are detectives who have like certain superpowers. And when I say superpowers, nothing like they can shoot beams or whatever. So you have them, they're called omnivores or whatever there is. So what happens is choose power, which is a few other, like people have other different, they're basically 5 sense powers. So choose power is he can bite into something and then tell what exactly happened. So he's kind of like an empath, but he sees a visual, like if you're dead, he can take a bite of your arm and see exactly what happened to you. All right. So it plays a video in his mind of what happened to you. So, and there are other people. There's a guy who's a chef, who's a sensivore, whatever it is, where he could smell something. He can tell you the exact ingredients, how the animal that was killed, how the animal was killed and made, and why it's so delicious and everything else. And there's another character. Their sheer explanation of food can either make you want the food and it's so delicious, or make you sick and want to throw up. Like just by their voice.
The best comic book ever made, and I've never heard of it.
Right? So
the fate of the universe depends on if it's white meat or dark meat.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's to the point where it's, the way I'm explaining it is just like a terrible overview of what Chew is. So because it really just starts off with chicken is illegal. He's a detective and he's hunting down these underground chicken.
Louisiana versus the Colonel.
Yeah, these. Yeah, like so.
Full of fans.
What the hell was that? Oh, was that you, Nadia?
Nah.
That wasn't me.
Me either.
Okay.
Okay, Google.
Like I don't think it was
Somebody's playing Stadia?
Yeah, I was like,
Yo, is there someone else on this call?
Yeah, and I was like,
popping
yo,
up on Zoom?
Yo, listen, who the hell hacked in? Like, you know, like so.
Yo, turn off your Stadia.
Yeah, so
Shit's trash. Okay.
so what it seems like is that Chew was a very good comic book, and I will lend you the comic book.
Please do.
Chew was a really good comic book, and they were going to make a TV series out of it, but they did. But for some reason, the project fell through.
I wonder why.
No. Like they were dead set on it, but I think this was during the time where Image was really hyped up, where everybody was on everything with Image, and it was hyped up because The Walking Dead did so well, and they wanted to have something else, and I think it might have been AMC. AMC wanted something else to complement with The Walking Dead. And when I read this, when they had the script online, it was done well, but they just cut it out. Like, I thought it was funny to myself also that the entire premise of this man's job is that chicken is illegal. So the funny thing is you can go to jail for 4 years for having a 2-piece and a biscuit.
I'm sorry. I just got to ask. Do they, and this is going to be fucked up. I'm letting y'all know right now, but I got to know as a black person, did they show the black people's perspective on these news?
Yo, they didn't, but there are a lot of black characters that were in there that were hilarious. Like the first comic book has like this white guy walking out of the back of a building who just came back from an underground chicken spot, and he gets busted with like a 3-piece, and he's fighting the cops because he was like, I gotta have my chicken, like I gotta, like he's fighting for it. But then also there's a big like thing about it because the avian flu is bad. Somebody invented a pineapple fruit that tastes just like chicken, and it was growing on an island, and it looks disgusting. It has tentacles or whatever, but people cook it and it tastes like chicken. So that Chew had so many different storylines that were just hilarious that you have to.
I have to read this.
It's really good, and
it's obvious why they didn't go through with it. They had the executive meeting, and everybody was like, "All right, so we're gonna greenlight this." And there was one black person at that table that was just like. He's just shaking his head. He's like, y'all better not greenlight this shit.
You're like, do you know how this offensive this might be? But it's like, dude, everybody eats chicken. Yeah, but you know how much jokes and things that people are going to stereotype the smell?
There was one black person at that table that was like, y'all motherfuckers better know.
No, what happened was, I think it went away because at this time when they were greenlighting it, this is when The Walking Dead started to have its decline.
Oh,
and they were just kind of like, if this is going to go on the heels of The Walking Dead, like, and Walking Dead is dropping, it might not make it.
Walking Dead's not even cracking 10 million anymore.
Yeah, but also, you got to also think, like, a lot of this stuff just gets shelved for right now.
Yeah.
It may come back at the right time. It may, like with Invincible coming out, they may revisit this to bring it out. And it may not come out as live action. It may come out as animation. I do hope it comes out as live action because I think it will be hilarious as live action. And I think if somebody gets mad and goes, it's a black stereotype, like a lot of the characters in there were British.
Mm-hmm. And everybody eats chicken.
Yeah, come on. Let's cut it out. Like, everybody loves chicken.
It's not exclusive to black people. Like, come on, like,
I mean, you're right, but
it would only be offensive to me if they had a 2-piece, a biscuit, and grape soda with it. Right?
Or they have black people that's literally going absolutely ape shit, and like just like starting riots and killing each other. Like it was the chicken sandwich shit from Popeyes. Like they emulating that shit. Like,
yeah,
I mean, that's
Nadia,
like,
did you ever read Chew? Nadia,
Chew?
Yeah, did you ever read Chew?
Nah.
Oh, yes, it was a.
It's an older book.
Yeah, it's on Image. You can look it up. It's called Chew, CHEW.
Yeah, I gotta check that one.
Yeah, like a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people got into it because it was so under the radar. But I actually picked it up because it actually won awards for like one of the best comic books when it came out that year. So I was just like, all right, let me check this shit out. Chew is really good. I'll actually pass you the
please do, because I'm probably going to review that for the site. Just like start probably a Justin Never YouTube series. Justin Never read, Justin Never watched, and just get my reactions to everything. Be like,
and Jerome, it's a comic book I think you would like. It's just funny.
The plot itself is just like there's no more chicken on the planet, or chicken is outlawed.
No, it's not. It's not that there's no more chicken.
It's outlawed. It's just
people were still growing chicken, but it was supposed to be.
It reminds me of the prohibition period.
How the avian flu nearly wiped out half the world. Birds, period. We're just blamed for everything.
And before we get into the other Image news, Nadia, what are your thoughts on? Did you watch the Invincible? Was it Invincible?
Yeah,
Invincible trailer. What did you think?
I'm excited. I think it looks really good. And Amazon Prime has, as we saw with The Boys, they can kind of go far. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of.
I'm excited. It's on Prime.
I think that's going to be Amazon's niche. They take these underground. Comic books from the indies and give these people their shows. Not only is it going to expose people to more of the indie comics, but it gives them a staple that's not Marvel and DC. So, like, if Amazon picks up all Images stuff, like, I would love to see Beauty as a live action or animation from Image. But speaking of Image,
before you get, just to answer something with Jerome, there are a lot of shows that hit the table and are slated to come out. Like, I don't know if any of you guys know this. Why the Last Man was supposed to be out.
Long time.
Here's the thing. Like, I had
I remember hearing about that.
I had people who, members from my job that were already in the pilot and did everything else and filmed episodes, and that was 2 years ago. And there's no, it hasn't dropped, and they can't say pandemic because a lot of this was filmed pre-pandemic.
Sandman too. Sandman's been developing
Sandman's been
development health
in and out of talks for years.
Yeah, so it's. I don't think it's. I do agree with Jerome. The funny thing is, there was a couple of black executives sitting there shaking their head, going, "Yeah, this is."
That's a hard.
There was some black guy that sat there with his eyes up, like, "Where?" So this is what you think about me?
What's the pitch? Okay, here's the pitch. There's no more chicken.
Like, hey, somebody kicked the glass of water over there. Oh, hell no! Like, what's it?
What do you mean? Like, no, there's this disease, right? And no one can have chicken anymore.
I was like, are you trolling?
Yeah. So there are a lot of shows that actually are supposed to come out that just hit the floor, or for some reason, and people can't say pandemic. A lot of these shows were way pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Before they came, before like somebody just sat back and said, I don't know if we can put this out. But I do agree with you guys, and I want to pitch this, and I think we should write an article out of if all you guys want to collab. Comic book shows that Amazon Prime needs to pick up as a series.
Yep.
To make.
Can we, tapping into that, talk about how, like, a lot of shows would have done better if they were on different networks.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the show is good, it's just the network does it no justice, like sci-fi.
Yep, because
Like-
magicians.
Okay, Nadia, please do not get Justin started on how sci-fi
Yeah.
fucks up everything.
Deadly Class is one of my favorite books. And,
Yeah.
like, that first season was so bomb. And I'm so mad. Like, I'm still, like, bitter that there wasn't a second season.
I'm still bitter they fucked Krypton over because that show was good.
Yeah.
Like, I loved the Krypton show. And then they just, like, see,
Yeah, sci-fi, all the shows went down.
That's why I'm not watching Residential Alien because I'm just like, I'm going to get invested and then y'all just going to cancel the
Well,
shit.
now you guys know how I feel when they cut, what do you call it, the zombie movie, Z Nation.
Z Nation,
When they
yeah.
cut Z Nation. That was my alternative to The Walking Dead, which was still good.
Yeah, but it's on Netflix, but we got Black Summer, thankfully, with the prequel.
But
for
when
that.
the hell is it coming out?
Well, they greenlight a sequel, so at least we get like season 2, so that's a good thing.
Why gotta be Black Summer though?
Because
Because it was a black summer.
shit is dark.
Why gotta be dark now?
Yo, listen,
trolling.
listen, Farrakhan. Listen, Farrakhan, sit your ass over there and cut out with this. Like, why everything got to be black? Like, why we ain't laying on Plymouth Rock? You know what I'm saying?
Why can't it be black though? Yeah, that's the question you should ask. Why can't it be black?
I'm like, why the new Supergirl gotta have blonde hair though?
But to piggyback off the last news on Image, Tom McFarlane announced he's going to attempt to do his own, you could say, kind of shared universe, and he's going to start off with Spawn characters. Good. So, what is everybody's thoughts on that? I mean, I'm not too versed in the Spawn universe, but I guess he's going to start off with Spawn, and I guess is going to probably spin off to other characters, I guess, in Image properties or whatever properties he's making.
I've sat down with Todd McFarlane. Mm-hmm. I don't know. One of the things is when we met him at Toy Fair for his toy line that was coming out. Talking to him, I'll give him one thing. He's really interested in what the fans think, and I was kind of like nervous to talk to him about the Spawn fan made movie, and that how I was like, I love the first Spawn that you made, but this fan made movie took it to another level of how it can really get. And then I heard that, like, from the people who were there, he was already on that path with Spawn to make it more of a, he's working with Blumhouse and he's doing this, to make Spawn more of a,
because Jamie Foxx is supposed to play him,
action horror film. So my thing is, whatever he's deciding, I have, out of all directors and writers I can say that I've either met or known in the comic books, I have complete trust in whatever he's planning to do with Spawn, because anybody who's seen the Spawn animated series knows that this man knows what he's writing about. Anybody who read the Spawn comic book knows what this man is writing about. So whatever he's planning to do with his universe, I'm fine with it.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think to what Sean said, McFarlane has always been super invested, and I'm a big Image Comics fan, and I guess Marvel did it, DC did it, and I'm hoping Image can keep pushing their titles, and to see like a universe would be pretty dope.
All right, so I mean,
Jerome? Like, I have no idea who
I agree with Sean. It's like, as long as, like, whenever certain things get announced or certain people get behind things, it's just, you just want to know that the person cares. Yeah. You're just like, all right, where's their interview at, so I can listen to what's going on in their head. And as long as you feel like the person actually gives a shit about the source material, then,
and it's his character. He made this character.
Yeah, and nobody's gonna F up their own shit. So
and I will say this: what people don't give him credit for, where Spider-Man was going through a low point, and then he came out. There was Web of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah,
all three titles were good, but they were kind of flailing. And Todd McFarlane said, "I'm not taking over any one of those three."
Yeah, at first I thought you said Seth MacFarlane. I was like, oh God. I was like, oh God. It's the Green Hornet all over again.
Oh Lord, no. Like he came out and said, I'm going to do a title called just Spider-Man. And he drew it, wrote it, and he had like one of the best Spider-Man stories that came out, Torment.
Yeah.
Where they reanimated the dead body of Kraven the Hunter. And they were like, he had different villains trying to torment him about best story he ever came out before Marvel, where I will tell you before Marvel shit the bed and let him go.
Yeah.
And they let a lot of writers go.
Yeah.
You know, like not that they let them go. They tried to stifle their creativity. So you had some of the best artists all leave and form their own one. Because Image was started by Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, and Mark Silvestri. Mm-hmm. And they all came together and put out kick-ass comic books. Yeah. Like, I don't care what Marvel and DC can say. They were shitting their pants at some of these comic books that were coming out from these guys.
Yeah.
They would put art, story, everything off the fucking chains.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yep. So...
And can I get a clap for something? Because we're about to get into something that deserves an applause. What I'm about to go into. Right. So IDW is killing it with the Ninja Turtles, man. TMT Ronin 2. The second issue is just phenomenal. Like I am a huge Turtle fan. This book is, I don't know what they like. It's like. I'm not going to call it like the ultimate turtle book, but you can tell the original creators definitely had their hands in this because it's just, spoiler alert, if you didn't read the first book, I am so sorry. I'm going to get into quick spoilers, but Mikey is the last turtle alive. So
yeah, I figured as much. Yeah,
it's Mikey. And just part 2 is just like it dwells deeper into what happened and how it happened. And it just go, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is a lot of elements to the story. Like Mikey's psyche is so fucked. Like he's still seeing his other brothers and they're talking to him, and you kind of feel really feels like it really justifies why Mikey was the best choice for this, because just based on the personality that Mikey is, like we have a serious Michelangelo now. Yeah. Like me and Sean was talking on our first review, we have a serious Michelangelo now, and he's not joking. Like he is out.
Yeah, we have a dude that's hell bent on just avenging everybody. Like it's kind of like he put his childhood behind him and said, "Now I'm an adult, and now I ain't going to do adult things."
Every Foot Clan member, and like he is literally on a mission. And we get a nice arc on April O'Neil, who's still alive, which is cool. We do get a reveal of who that girl that saved Mikey is. I think we all guessed who it was. So I mean, that's a pretty
Irma.
No. All right, fuck it, I'll spoil it. It's
you already said spoilers.
No, I said spoilers for the first one. I didn't say for the second one, but I'll spoil it anyway. It's April's kid, who's named Casey. So she named it after Casey Jones because Casey dies too. So you find out that the Foot Clan, like they had a treaty with the Turtles. Like everybody was doing good, and then I guess the Foot Clan said fuck that shit, and they ambushed Splinter like with a bomb and shit like that. And then that's how Splinter dies. And then they try the Turtles. Well, they didn't show it, but the Turtles were planning an attack all out because, Splinter's messed up. And I guess during that time, Mikey, they all lost the battle. Casey died. Raph died. Donnie died. Leo died. Mikey was the only one out. And I guess April also was there because April was injured. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, it's great because they even go back to the original art style of black and white in certain sections. Mm-hmm. And it's dark. It's great. I was like, this is the best Turtles story in a long time. Just hands down, man. It's like the best comic book I've read in a while, so definitely good.
So you'll have to check out our separate review
down the line. Yep.
Ronin 2. And Nadia, did you get to read it? I read part of it. I didn't get to read the whole thing. I just read.
I didn't get to finish yet. I just picked up book 2 on Wednesday.
Yeah, so.
Oh, my bad. I thought y'all finished it.
It's right.
No. Like, I got through it, but I was just like, what do you call it? I got through enough of it so I can know what you're talking about. Like,
she said I just picked up book 2 and now I got to take it back.
But it's definitely even if you're not a Turtles fan, if you just know about the cartoon, it's definitely a pickup. It may depress the hell out of you a little bit, but it's definitely a good pickup.
For me, it's like it brought Turtles back to how it originally was, like this dark. Like they use their weapons and it kills people. Like this is like that type of Turtles. This is the Turtles I've been waiting for. So I'm really really happy about that.
And I will say is if you ever want to see how the Turtles were actually made,
was it on Hulu? I think.
No, you can look on Netflix. There's a show called The Toys That Made Us.
Oh yeah.
But no. It's not The Toys That Made Us. There's another series, The Shows That Made Us, and they actually delve into the cartoons and everything else, and it actually talks about. Well, really, I think it's The Toys That Made Us, where they actually, and that's season 2, not season 1, season 2, where they talk about the Ninja Turtles and they actually go back to the original creators of the Ninja Turtles and they talk about how they made the comic books. And they give you a brief history of how the comic book was made. So if you ever want to check that out on Netflix.
And that's pretty much it for that. And I'm going to go into our last segment and just going to touch on for our gamers out there. Recently, Nintendo announced that they did their Nintendo Direct, and they just dropped some titles out there. So I'm just going to talk about some of my favorite stuff. I'm not a big Smash Brothers fan. Well, I'm not a big Smash Brothers player. I should say. I still don't even have it for the Switch, but they did just recently announce that 2 of the Xenoblade characters will be in Smash Brothers. So I mean, for those who are out there, that is good for you if you're a big Smash.
They did everybody dirty though, because you know in the beginning of the video, they start showing you the cinematic thing, and then right before you get excited, they flash. This is not actual gameplay. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
they hit you with that cinematic trailer. They be like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." Oh,
they're like, "This is not actual gameplay."
You be like,
I'm like, what the hell am I buying it for?
You tease.
Like, how dare you?
Like, I thought, like they did that because the people, they're like, there's rumors going around that they're going to do like a HD. They're going to release a more 4K version of the Switch. Mm-hmm. So people are like, oh, this is it. This is the 4K version. This is not actually motherfucker. So I mean, that was a really huge announcement. But for me, what I took away is Skyward Sword HD.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is something else, because for those that don't know, it's Zelda's 35th anniversary. So Zelda basically came out the same year I was born, 86. Craziness. So what I'm hoping is that they're actually, because they did on the Wii U that Sean gave me, because Sean was just like, hey, I don't want this shit. Sean gave me his Wii U. He was like, I don't want this shit here. You got to review something for the Nintendo? Here, take my Wii U. You want it back? Nah. he never took it back. He's like, nah, you can keep that, Jay. It's all good. So, and what they did for the Wii U, which I don't know why they did a HD of Wind Waker and my favorite Zelda game, Twilight Princess, until I played Breath of the Wild and beat that. So
Twilight Princess is everybody's favorite Zelda game.
Well, actually, everybody's favorite is Ocarina of Time.
Right.
For me, it's
my bad.
Yeah,
you're right.
Because I like dark stories and dark shit. So
DC,
Twilight,
baby.
Yeah. Twilight Princess was my favorite. So I was hoping that they were going to announce a bundle like they did with Mario's 3D World, where they bundled Mario 64.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mario Sunshine, for some god reason, people demanded that trash. And Mario Galaxy, which is pretty good. Yeah, I never played that one.
Ain't nobody checking for no Mario Golf, though. I saw that trailer.
Yeah, that's foul.
Ain't nobody checking for no Mario.
Mario Sunshine is trash?
No. Oh. That golf thing, Taka Woods, y'all.
But no one was talking about that. No one made no noise. Like, okay, Mario Golf, give us tennis is a little better. Like, no one cares about Mario Golf. But yeah, so I was hoping they were going to do a bundle release with that. But they said that from rumors it's just that Skyward Sword is going to be the first one, and then they're going to roll out Wind Waker and then Twilight Princess. But just put them all in one bundle for me to buy. And
yeah, basically. Was Twilight Princess the one where when you save Zelda and then the castle is about to explode, she dips on you? And you got to chase her. You got to chase her down.
No. Twilight Princess is when Link turns into a wolf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he has to go to like the Dark Realm. And that one, that was like the darkest Zelda game from aesthetics and story so far. Then we have Skyward Sword, which is actually the whole prequel. I know you guys saw the meme I posted up with Zelda and Flash timeline that I saw.
Yeah.
So that when I saw that when people were making an announcement, and I thought about it because Zelda's timeline is so freaking ridiculous. Like Skyward Sword is the actual technically the first Zelda adventure, and then the whole time zone breaks into the NES games and everything else like that. But the big announcement that me and my boy Keenan was really happy about is Ninja Gaiden is getting its collection pack.
Oh, thank God. It's about time. I love Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden collection
is it Gaiden or Gaiden?
I think it's Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden. I don't know.
Like dark side, dark side. Like, you know.
Shinobi.
So
nah, nobody ever made that mistake.
Shinobi. No, but for me, I think that's probably the biggest announcement for me was I was hoping it was going to do Mass Effect for the Switch as well, but they didn't announce it. But
so you didn't go bonkers when you saw that DC superhero girls?
Oh no, actually, I'm getting that.
Yeah, that actually looked good.
I think I'm glad you brought that up. I'm actually gonna get that game because it looks.
It's like I'm teasing you, but it actually did look good.
It looked like I text my boy. I was just like, "Yo, don't like
don't sleep on that DC SG."
I was like, "Yo, bro, real talk, that DC game look hot." Yeah. He was just like, "Yo, you getting it?" He's like, "Yo." He said, "Don't feel bad. I brought the Lego Batman game." So I was just like, No, it looks like it's a kind of like an open world. Because it's based off the cartoon, right?
Yeah.
The cartoon show. So that I will have a review for that because I'm actually going to spend my money on that.
It reminded me of Pokemon, like Sword and Shield.
Yeah. That's what so I'm actually going to get that. But otherwise than that, I mean, there hasn't been really, from a gaming standpoint, I mean, I guess the Mass Effect collection everybody's looking forward to. We got a couple of releases this week coming up is Persona 5 Strikers. So for my gamers out there and Persona 5 fans, that's going to be something I would recommend that everybody picks up. But otherwise than that, gaming has been kind of slow. There hasn't been, I mean, I guess the big stuff is going to happen when Resident Evil 8 comes out, Village.
Woo! All I care about, everything Resident Evil.
I'm still waiting for Gotham Knights.
Yeah, Gotham Knights later this year. Yeah.
What I'm laughing at is that everything else could be going on in this conversation. You mentioned something Nadia loves. She's like, "Woo, baby!" Like
Resident Evil for life.
Yeah.
I mean,
the R word.
Yeah, the R word, Resident Evil. I mean, the RE. So, I mean, otherwise than that, I haven't been really. I've been just doing backlogs because there's nothing really out right now to me to like because the Switch is my primary system now because I'm looking at I have not touched to play games wise. I haven't touched my PlayStation 4 since I refunded Cyberpunk.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, allow me to interject real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm biased. I'm PS5.
Yeah. Oh, you're PS5. You got a PS5?
Are you PS5 already?
Yeah, I wasn't playing. I was one of those people that had every single retailer open, and me and like 3 friends would be like, "Yo, Target's open," and
well, she just emasculated every man in this room right now. Like the three guys in here are like, "I don't have my PS5 yet." She's like, "Oh, y'all slow." I went.
The only reason
I don't play Nintendo though. That's why I haven't played Nintendo in like 20 years.
The only reason why I didn't get the PS5 is because they get me every time, and they're not going to get me this time because we all know the first version console is gonna light up on fire. The power cord's gonna break.
Don't say that shit.
Or
I've been good.
So far, so good. And then like watch a year from now, they're gonna come up with the new PS5. It's gonna be no bigger than your phone. It's gonna be super fast. And then that's when all like the good games.
So I'm just gonna troll Nadia because anytime someone announces that they got a PS5, so how you liking these remasters? Because they ain't got shit yet.
Playing that Arkham Knight again.
I'm playing Resident Evil Revelations
in 4K.
Well, hold on. She shut y'all up. She's like, didn't I just tell y'all I like Resident Evil? I don't give a shit. What else on here?
Yeah. What do you call it? Vikings. The Assassin's Creed is beautiful. So I got some games.
The Miles Morales I heard is way better on there. So.
Yeah, Miles is gorgeous.
Yeah, so I mean, but everybody got a PS5.
Yeah, she's like, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Y'all thought I was just gonna be like, whatever. She's like, here you go. Like,
well, for all the PS4 players,
for all us last gen.
Yeah,
she's like, it's beautiful here. You need to catch up.
Yo, you master race motherfuckers out there.
Nah, but I don't play Nintendo, so I can't like bash.
Yeah, Nintendo's like the first system I ever had, so I have like a special.
I'm more.
Nintendo,
right now, like I'm more biased towards PS4. The only Nintendo game that I have is Sword and Shield and Mario Kart. So for me it is more PlayStation, and right now I'm playing Street Fighter, and I was doing Arkham Knight.
I was actually about to buy the Street Fighter collection.
That shit is dope. No, you should do it.
It's good.
You should do it because it's like this currently, like this weekend. This is Capcom Cup. This is the final weekend for the Capcom Cup Street Fighter tournament. So Tuesday, the first new character for the final season comes out on Tuesday, which is Dan Hibiki.
They still putting out characters for 5?
Yeah, they got five new characters coming out.
Jeez, damn.
The last 5 characters. So it's going to end with 46 Street Fighter characters overall.
God damn.
Yeah. So if you're a Street Fighter fan, check out Capcom Cup.
But I say we good.
Yeah, I think it wrapped up. Everybody, this was another good episode. Everybody want to give their shout outs to.
Hey, can I ask one more question though?
Sure.
Yeah, go.
This Tuesday, because I know I'm going to do it, but is anyone here going to check out the 2-hour season premiere of Superman and Lois?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
I can't make you any promise of it. Not because I don't like Superman and Lois.
Is it CW?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you see the trailer for Superman and Lois?
Nah.
I saw the trailer. It's not that I wouldn't want to sit down and watch it. The problem is there are so many things that are coming out that I'm trying to watch to catch up with, and by the time I get off work and I sit down, I have to make a choice about what I want to watch. And unfortunately, the CW has not pulled me in like it used to with The Flash. I'm
not talking about the CW. Talk about Superman.
That's what I'm saying.
Talking about Superman.
Here's the thing. It's pulled in with the CW. So, no, I can't say yes or no because nothing has pulled me in as of late to say I have to watch this because I don't know. Like, this has nothing to do with DC or anything else. Like, I'm leery about everything right now that I'm watching because there are other things that I'm watching that are like, damn, this is good. And my brain, and I think this is why I'm getting brain farts. I can't catch up with everything I'm watching, and I'm just like, holy crap! Like, don't get me wrong. What I usually do, and this is why I hate that the DC universe is gone. Like, it's completely gone. When they did Stargirl, and they used to do it like
it's not gone.
No, not Stargirl is gone. Meaning,
you said the DC. Oh, you mean the app?
Yeah, like when they used to do the like Stargirl aired on Monday or like it aired Sunday, and I didn't get to watch it Sunday. So on my train ride to work, I got to pop on the app and watch it and say, okay, I'm into this. If HBO Max was doing that with Lois and
Superman and
Lois, I could say, okay, no, I may not get to catch it tonight. On my train ride, either home or back, I can get into it because believe it or not, that's how I started watching The Flash again.
The CW app.
Yeah, I was about to say, go to the CW app. It's free.
But the only thing I hate about the CW app
is
the
commercials.
The ads and the commercials. Like, I just want to watch that. And the ad always comes in at a great part of the show. And I'm just like, fuck this show and fuck this app. And I'm like, and I'm moving on from it.
They got to pay the bills, though.
Yeah. So I will say I will probably check it out. And sometimes with shows like that, I like to give it 2 or 3 episodes. You know, because just in case it wets my beak, and then I'm just like, oh, this is good, and then I'm like, I'm gonna be pissed, and I have to wait another week for the episode.
They definitely have to give it a 2-hour season premiere. Like they definitely.
I think it's an hour and 30, and I think the next 30 minutes they said it's like some Superman special, like a look into Superman, I guess, like comic book wise. So I think it's just like an hour and 30, and then the last half an hour is like a Superman special.
Well, that would make my review life a lot easier.
Yeah.
But I was told 2 hours season. Did you see the trailer? Did you see the trailer for it?
Yeah,
I did. I did watch the trailer. A little weird that they got kids.
Nadi, did you at least see the trailer for it?
For Superman
and Lois.
No, same as Sean. Like, honestly, like I have no will to watch anything on CW anymore. I don't care anymore. They lost me.
I'm gonna check it out, but probably Wednesday because Persona 5 Strikers comes out, and I'm just gonna be gaming that day. But I'm definitely gonna watch it Wednesday for sure.
Yeah, I do.
It looks good. It looks really good.
It looks like whoever shot it also shot was the same people who shot.
Well, they said they used movie film cameras for like I think
Yeah.
the first 2 episodes.
like it looks like Man of Steel.
yeah.
And this is no reflection of like, oh, I hate it. I was like, I want to check it out, but I'm just like at certain points, like just to give it context, I have been watching The Flash on Netflix to catch up. I was watching Arrow to catch up, like the last season of Arrow. And it's just because trying to catch up with so much, like I will be honest, we have sensory overload because even the stuff we're looking forward to, like I'm looking forward to Invincible. And the one thing I'm scared of is that Invincible is going to be episodic and not one full streaming. Like it's not going to be a streaming season, which I'm fine with because they kind of did a good job of it with The Boys. But like it's starting to get about way too much with the stuff we're watching. Like I'm forgetting about shows that I'm watching, and I'm trying. Like saddest thing I ever have to say, I'm finally catching up on Preacher.
Oh my god, I forgot about Preacher. You're right.
Like,
I don't even know what I'm watching. That's how bad it is.
yeah, I'm finally catching up on Preacher, and that's scary because I love Preacher. Another thing I'm finally catching up on, the fucking Image comic book, the horror one,
V-Wars?
Oh,
the Possession,
Outcast?
Yeah.
Outcast. I'm finally catching up on Outcast. Like these are shows that like I read the comic and I was really into. So this is not like, oh, I don't want to see Lois and Superman. This is like, holy crap! Can I really
oversaturation?
Yeah, can I really catch? And then God help them if they get me into this. Like I'm not gonna know what to do. Like even Black Lightning, I'm pissed off because it's like I watch your reviews of Black Lightning. And it's like, okay, I really do want to watch it, but damn it, Black Lightning, stop coming on at times when I'm either, or, sad to say, stop coming on times when I'm online with friends playing Call of Duty and we've gotten into a real tournament and I'm embarrassing some 12-year-old kid by talking about sleeping with his mom because he's talking shit, because he's talking shit to me while we're playing.
Hey man, you better make time for Black Lightning.
You know? So that's about it. So I guess
Black Lightning's the shit.
Yeah, I guess we can.
Everybody got their final words.
Yeah. Oh, also, rest in peace to Prince Marky D, Cicely Tyson, and we had somebody else that passed away. That was big.
Well, we don't remember you, but we don't remember you right now. But rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace especially to those big pioneers. Rest in peace to both of them.
Jarrell, close up. Final.
Yeah. So. I guess I'll be the only one reviewing Superman and Lois, so you could check out my review for the premiere on Red Eyes Entertainment on YouTube. That's Red Eyes with a Z. Also, we're closing out WandaVision. We're still doing Black Lightning, and The Flash comes back on March the 3rd. We're doing that as well. So, like I said, for all the Arrowverse stuff and for all the DC Plus stuff, you could check out Red Eyes Entertainment on YouTube.
Check out, if you get a chance, for all of you who want more adult content, you can check out the Chronicles series. I do recommend that you really read the disclaimers. These episodes are basically the most random and ratchet stories you can come up with, and it is really for adults only. If you, as Justin would always say, if you're triggered and you don't like coming out of your echo chamber, like Chronicles may not be for you, but they are hilarious stories by regular people telling their regular stories, and they are funny as hell. But check out Chronicles, a series of ratchet and wild stories. Check us out, Beer and Goods, if it ever comes off hiatus, for you alcoholics out there. If you wanna check out, like, we talk about different craft beers, how great craft beers are, and tell you local news and stories, and with a hilarious twist. And of course, make sure, because if you're already listening to this now, make sure you are checking the Otakus and Geeks podcast, and make sure you check out everybody on here, from Gotham Geek Girl to Imagine Vision to Red Eye Entertainment. Check us all out. Like, you will not be disappointed. We're trying to build our own universe here of content that you guys can listen to and be a part of, and try to give you like either a funny perspective or a serious perspective or an argumentative perspective to, stimulate your mind.
Nadia?
Yeah, tune in to, like you said, all of our YouTubes. On YouTube now, I have from our last podcast, if you haven't seen it yet, where we covered the toxic side of cosplay. Upcoming, I have an interview with Karen Whitfield, the traveling Batgirl, who traveled with Burt Ward and Adam West, coming up soon with the Comic Collectors Guild. Nice. So stay tuned for that. That'll be up on YouTube.
And I will end it. First things first, matchintovisions.com. Cry Hero 2 is finally out, thank God. You can get that on Amazon and now Barnes & Nobles. Currently waiting on Comixology to approve both books. Fingers crossed. And I'm currently working on it to be print. So I'll announce that once I figure that out. And then, of course, My Name is Rachel's coming soon. And that's pretty much it. Keep it locked on otakusgeeks.com. Check out everything here. And just want to give a shout out to my boy Keenan, SabiGaming.com. Check that out as well. Later days.